Hello and welcome to Mooresville, North Carolina. We're here at the magical Church Street Park, and what is an unbelievable venue for a third consecutive day and another doubleheader underway. The Fort Lauderdale Lions taking on the Baltimore Royals. Before we get to any of the action on the field, let's head to the middle for the toss between the two captains.
Toss time here at Church Street Park. The two captains alongside me, Lumba of the Baltimore Royals and Chopra of the Fort Lauderdale Lions, alongside our third umpire for the day. It's going to be Ronak with the coin in hand. And
heads, tails will be flicking.
And it will be Sharad calling this one.
Heads. Heads is a call.
Call is a head.
It is tails.
And it's come down to tails. A little discussion. What have you chosen to do and why?
We've chosen to bowl first. This is a fresh wicket. See a little bit of grass here, so we want to exploit whatever there's in the wicket.
Yeah, tough loss for you guys yesterday. How have you guys looked to rebound to today?
It was a close game. A few mistakes here and there. We could have slightly been a little more better in the field, but again, it's a learning team and everyone's in good spirits today.
Any changes in your 11?
Just one change. Vinith goes out and Shaunak Marathe comes in.
There you go. Well, good luck today. Sharad, tough luck with the toss. Had you won it, what did you want to do and why?
We would also like to bowl first because wicket's looking very fresh. But this is how it is, not in my hand. So we'll try to put good runs on the board.
Yeah, you and Gunwarjeet had a great partnership yesterday. How are you looking to build upon that today?
Yeah, we had a good partnership. We'll just go with that and start with a new thing again. And because the wicket is a little different, so let's see how the wicket behave and we'll play according to that.
Any changes in your 11?
Yeah, we have only one change. Adil is not playing today and Rishabh is playing for him.
Oh, there you go. Good luck today. Sharad. That is the word from the middle. It's the Fort Lauderdale Lions who have won today's toss, and they've elected on this green wicket to have a bowl.
Confirmation. Having a bowl. That's what the Fort Lauderdale Lions want to do here in both of these teams' final game on this weekend. The Lions felt heartbreak yesterday against the Raptors yet again. Looking to come back, and they've done the right thing. They've won the toss and elected to have a bowl. This is a very green wicket. It's a new wicket and a different one from where we played yesterday. We're on the eastmost surface at the moment, and I tell you what, it gives some English condition feels right now. Atish Gawand has the ball. And you can see movement there straight away. You heard Sharad Lumba at the toss say he's wanting to see a change in approach from his team, given the wicket. Just have a little look before they elect to go big and decide to put the hammer down. He's got Gunwarjeet Singh out there to face up to start. 50 for him yesterday. In tremendous flow. It's Gunwarjeet, 2 50s in 3 games. And I think when you look at what he brings this level of class and this excellent timing ability. So vital at the start of an innings for any team. Shot. One bounce over the rope, 4 runs. Unbelievable this from Gunwarjeet Singh. Just a use of his feet and takes advantage. Aman Patel joined by Nate Hayes as always. Nate's being sent in to bat first, the Baltimore Royals. Well, Gunwarjeet Singh, he's picking up where he left off yesterday.
Yeah, he's still hot from just a few hours ago, it seems. Really, it was less than 12 hours ago. These guys were putting on the runs.
Change of angle for Gawand. He gets terrific movement. And Nate, we were talking about how this surface, much greener, there's also a little bit damp. So it does feel like if the ball were to do anything, it would be during this initial period.
Yeah, I think you're right. And then as it dries, things change a little bit on the wicket.
Excellently driven from Singh. Yeah, the reason cricket is so interesting is because even the same thing happening to a wicket can result in two different things. And what do I mean by that? Well, typically teams will want to bat second under lights given the dew gets added to the wicket, so there's a little bit of moisture, the ball comes on nicely. But it's different from this morning period moisture, Nate.
Oh yes, absolutely, because the wicket's going to dry as the day goes on, and that changes the behavior of the wicket.
And also, when you talk about water that's already on the surface, it's kind of baked in, so it can just make the surface a touch more to paste, whilst new water allows the ball to skid through.
Yeah, the newer water, the dew is going to be more uniform, as you said. And actually, I did talk to some of the Royals last night after that game. They said dew was very much a factor in the second innings. We were wondering whether or not it was. The grass where we sit was quite dry, but I also think the grass up here is much more thirsty than the grass on the ground. So it's going to absorb it right away. Whereas the grass on the ground is well watered, so when the dew comes in, it'll just sit there on the grass blades.
All the way, Mukhtar Ahmed opens his account.
Mukhtar, I spoke to him last night as well. He does like opening. He struggled a little bit yesterday, but he considers himself very much an opener. And look at that shot, man. Beautiful.
Close of over number 1, 12 for none. Fort Lauderdale Lions' strength is their fast bowling contingent. They have a lot of them. Change in the side today with Vinit Tagarse missing out as they bring back another batter in Shanak Marathe to strengthen that depth. But Shubham Singh Gaur, brilliant with the ball and nearly provided some magic to beat the Raptors. He'll have the opening stand from the Cedar Fork end. The gusts of wind, Nate, have become much more dramatic and much more consistently thorough.
Oh yeah, it's blustering today. Yesterday in the early game, it was also very windy. Died down a little bit as the day went on. Definitely that's a factor today.
Fyodor has a lot of work to do, and it'll be interesting to see how much that wind affects Gaur and Gawan, both of whom slower through the air, like to get it to swing. It's supposed to help you, but maybe can just push it too far.
Yeah, wind is not usually a huge factor here at Church Street Park. It's well protected by these tall, dense pine trees surrounding it. It's not quite PVCC or Morgan Hill where you get a lot of wind that affects the tactics. But every once in a while, it does blow quite a bit. And I think if you're a bowler, you want to take advantage of that, especially if you're capable of moving it. And like you said, slowing it down well.
This is the matchup Gaur wants. The right-handed Mukhtar Ahmed on strike. Remember, Ahmed was undone by a left-arm seamer yesterday in Taha Faruqi, a ball that just swung back to off stump.
Yeah, how good was Taha in that game yesterday? Very, very good. You know, we saw very good things from Orlando yesterday. They just didn't quite have enough to beat this Baltimore side. Oof.
Well kept from Mario Ramprasad. We've seen tremendous work behind the stumps from all teams here in the South, Nate.
Oh yeah, we love our wicket keepers in the South. Mario Rampersad, one of those very, very good keepers. Very agile. Look at that. That barely stays on the pitch, doesn't it?
Actually made it look rather easy. I don't think he quite needed to dive. It was more so, I think, just a safety precaution. But he covered it nicely with his feet. Batting first here, Nate. Fresh wicket. What are the Royals after?
Well, I think 150 plus is a good score here in this first game. We saw yesterday, Morrisville able to chase that down a score like that. So I think when you consider the quality of this batting side, I think 160, 170 would be more of an appropriate total.
I think I'd agree with you there, Nate, about the 160, 170. I think that's partially to do with maybe the surface presenting some more challenges to the Royals, and then, like you mentioned, the batting depth of the Lions just not quite being there, but they've shown the ability to get to 150. It was actually funny at the toss, the exchange between Lumba and Ronak Sharma when the coin landed in the favor of the Lion captain. I don't know how that's missed at all. They had a little exchange. The coin came down. Call was heads from Lumba. It landed as a tails, and Lumba gives a little stare to Ronak Sharma and says, "Why don't you just bat first? You want to bat first." He absolutely did not want to bat first because those kinds of deliveries are going to be available. So there was a little bit of wariness about batting first here for the Royals.
Yeah, I think it's an important toss to win if you're Fort Lauderdale, especially as you mentioned, their strength is their seam bowling.
Gunwarjeet Singh's strength is 6 hitting and boundary finding. Finds another.
Now, someone's going to have to find that ball before it runs off too deep into the woods. And my goodness, Gunwarjeet Singh looks like the best batter in the world at this ground sometimes, doesn't he? He looks fantastic at Church Street Park. Watch this. Oh my goodness. He just gets himself in a great position there to put the ball exactly where he wants to. Man, is he maximizing this power play.
He's just such an asset to have, and you were talking about it last night. His versatility is what sets him apart. Yes, he can do this at the top of the order, but if you play him in the middle order, he's still the same Gunwarjeet Singh. And go through the air, through the ground, and he just never seems to be uncomfortable. Close of 2, 21 for none. First signs of spin, Nehal Katakdand. So getting rid of the seam bowling rather quickly, and that's thanks to Gunwarjeet Singh's fast start.
And Mukhtar Ahmed's fast start as well. Nehal will want to get, I think, Mukhtar on strike here.
Unbelievable that. Just reaches that one over for 6.
What a shot. Gunwarjeet Singh is in some kind of special knock here at Church Street Park. Such a fun batter to watch. He's got every shot, doesn't he? Just absolutely pummels that.
And he's not a big guy, Nate. It's not the power in the muscles or in his stature. It's just how fast his hands come down and how well he times the ball.
Oh, and I think he's got tremendous coordination. He finds the middle of the bat so well, so frequently. As you said, his timing, his placement, just fantastic.
And his captain has shared so many great words about him, Nate. You got a chance to talk to him last night.
Yeah, last night I was talking to Lumba about Kunwarjeet Singh, about some of these players on his side, and he raved about his work ethic and his hustle.
Campbell there, and bisects the fielders absolutely perfectly.
That's a tough one there. You get close to a collision. We saw a good one yesterday, a good effort where the two fielders communicated well and got out of each other's way at the last second. This one could have been a collision. But yeah, as you said, bisection. That was perfectly placed directly between the two boundary fielders.
So Lumba was talking about the work ethic and what else?
Yeah, just the hustle, the attitude. He focused on the attitude in the conversation. You know, he just brings a lot to the team.
He's bringing a lot of runs as well. Don't even worry about it. That's going all the way for 6.
Yeah, he is a special talent. Look at that shot. You saw Wesley Jackson on the ball before, a couple balls before, almost getting to the boundary 4. They closed that gap a little bit more. Kunwarjeet Singh hits it to the other side of him this time.
And then he just does this. Says, you know what? I want to hold on to some strike. No need to overdo it. I've hit 3 boundaries in the over, and this one's gone for 17, 38 for none. New seamer, just the one over for the left-hander, and Rashesh Behera has got the ball, looking to just change things up. Typically likes to be back of a length. He's operating without the deep point. New bowler, same results for Kunwarjeet Singh.
Yeah, my goodness, Kunwarjeet Singh. He kept strike on that last ball, the last over, with a smart single, and he's showing you why he wanted it right there. He is in some flow.
You just don't know where to bowl to him, to be honest with you. That's where you're at. You just feel that if you go full, he's got those shots. He's got great hands to take advantage of anything with width. Doesn't seem to be bothered by short deliveries. Already 42 runs on the board. Through. We'll just get the single. Nate, we've had a lot of conversations about the lack of left-handers on the USA team and where can those left-handers come from. We talk about Stephen Taylor maybe coming back, Ryan Scott out in the East. I think you've got to, you talk about even Asad Ali. I think you got to throw Kunwarjeet Singh's name amongst the group.
Oh yeah, and Agash Singh too.
Yeah,
he's coming in at 4 or 5, somewhere around there. And I think one of the reasons you can mention Kunwarjeet Singh is he's very good against spin, against pace. He's good in all phases. You can bat him just about anywhere you need a lefty. I think you can plug him in anywhere in that batting order, and he'll give you production. You know he's going to hustle in the field. He turns doubles, he turns twos into ones because people understand that he will get to the ball quickly. He will throw the ball well. I mean, I would definitely consider him once he's eligible for this USA squad.
I think he's got maybe another year and a half left before eligibility. Mukhtar Ahmed says, yep, I can do this too. It's not just the Kunwarjit Singh show. Get my name on the ticket.
Oh my gosh, Mukhtar Ahmed, when he is going, he is a beauty. Very short on that one.
You're not going to trouble him there. Don't have the pace, and Mukhtar Ahmed so good with his hands. Remarkably, that's only the fourth ball he's seen. And the score is at 49, and Mukhtar Ahmed's only played 4 deliveries.
Whew.
Behera ends up on the ground, but escapes with a single.
My goodness, this pair here, both of them in flow. Kunwarjit 33 from 17, Mukhtar 14 from just 5. This is a start, and there's been no luck here. It's all been clean batting.
Yeah, it feels to me there's been maybe a lack of a plan for the Lions, if you will. I think they anticipated, hey, we won the toss, it's a green wicket, we're going to throw it up, and the ball's going to swing, and we'll take a couple early wickets. And then very quickly they've gone away from that. I understand that some of your bowlers have been getting hit, but I think Atish Gawand is too good for him not to get a second chance.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And Shubham Singh Gaur, for that matter.
Oh, absolutely agree with you.
Gets past Ram Prasad, ever so delicate, and it will trickle all the way to the boundary. Another 4 for Kunwarjit Singh.
Kunwarjit continues to maximize every error any bowler gives him this weekend. He just helps steer that one for 4, and he turns what was going to be a wide into 4 runs. You'll take that.
Already on 37. We talked to Sharad Lumba, and he said, yeah, we're just going to be a little bit more watchful to start the day. If this is watchful, I'd hate to see what destructive is.
I think what he meant by watchful is hit the ball, watch it travel.
That's one way to watch for sure. Wow. This Royals team, I'll tell you what, again, all the attention would go to Kings 11 Dallas and the Kingsmen. Rightfully so, those are great teams. But I think this Royals team, the batting caliber they have, that they can compete anywhere in the country.
I don't think we've seen their best game yet.
We might be witnessing it today, Nate. Close of the 4th over, it's 54 for none. Change of ends for Shubham Singh Gaur. No change of results. Mukhtar Ahmed stand and deliver.
Oh my goodness, what a shot. What a shot. He destroys this one into the net. My goodness. One of the bigger 6s we've seen hit over the covers this season.
Yeah, just kept trying to push the ball away from Mukhtar Ahmed. His problem is not with width. he will take advantage of every bit of width you offer. It's the ball that comes back in. And my goodness.
That was quite a shot. I don't think the wind assisted that one at all.
No, that's just all off the bat. That's the muscle of Mukhtar Ahmed. We've seen it time and time again. He's hit some of the bigger sixes in Major League Cricket. There it is. There it is. Better length, better result for Gaur.
Yeah, this is why you go back to Gaur. Mukhtar's going to go sit down, but not without doing some serious damage. 20 from 7. Yeah, look at Gaur. He really is class.
Mukhtar Ahmed goes for a destructive day. 20 off of 7. It's 60 for 1. New man in, Sharad Lumba, who's dropped down to number 3. Nate, this is a batting order that saw the one big shift. And it was Mukhtar Ahmed coming up the order alongside Kunwarjit Singh in place of this man, Sharad Lumba, and Agni Chopra. In your mind, was that the correct? What do you make of the move? Is that the correct move? Or will time tell? What is your make of it?
Well, I actually really like Agni Chopra batting in the middle overs. I really think that was a good move. Mukhtar, I think with his role in Major League, I'd like to see him playing in that role in Minor League more, especially, I mean, if you get Mukhtar Ahmed coming in the last 5-6 overs of an innings, you can expect some destruction. The ball won't be moving as much in the air. So I kind of would like to save him for that time period. Now, that I know that's a luxury, but this team they're spoiled for choice.
Wow. What a way to open your day for Sharad Lumba. I know it hasn't gone to the boundary, but effortless. I agree with you there. I think Mukhtar Ahmed's at his best when he plays the role he just did, 20 off 7, right?
Yeah.
That's a great Mukhtar Ahmed day.
Exactly.
But he's more likely to have that kind of day in 5 and 6. And the reason I say that, when you are going to face your Ihsan Adils or you have to face your Ali Khans, I just don't think they're going to give you the types of deliveries he's gotten on today's day. So for me, let him be in the situation he's comfortable with being. And the reason you don't have to force him at the top of the order is because you have so much depth. You can throw Agni Chopra back to the top. You can throw Sharad Lumba back. You can say, Mukhtar, you're going to go down. Everyone else will just come up one. You can just say, look, we're going to swap you and Jaskar Malhotra, who's open to minor league cricket. Jaskar, you're out there to hit 6s, and if you don't, that's fine. Sharad will come in at 3.
And we've seen Jaskar open also internationally. You know, he's very capable opener. He's opened when he played here in Morrisville. They do have a lot of options. Mukhtar Ahmed's not a bad option at all to open. I mean, we just saw him deliver 20 from 7. And I think the reason you have that luxury is because he's batting with Kunwarjit Singh, who can take the innings deep, and he can score quickly while he does it.
And that's, to me, why you don't have to force Mukhtar Ahmed at the top as well, because Kunwarjit Singh can be that heavy striker early, so you don't need the 20 off 7 to just be in the power play. It can come in at the death. So you can pair your Lumba, maybe your slower starter, with Singh, who is naturally going to find runs early.
So, Aman, I wonder if we had seen Kunwarjit get out first, would we see Agni Chopra in right now? I'm curious if that's the way Baltimore's thinking, trying to keep the lefty-righties in there.
Yeah, it could easily be that. We've seen, different substitutions, especially when it was Kunrajit Singh that wasn't opening the batting. It was Agni Chopra and Sharad Lumba. Then we saw that left-right thought. So I think that's easily an option for the Royals to have. And so I don't think you're going to see both Chopra and Singh go out there bat together, to your point.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to. Yep. So that limits the choice a little bit, obviously, but I mean, I do think these are good problems to have. They're not really problems. And when you have a team that's this deep, then you have these kind of conversations.
A lot of work for Sweeper. Won't be able to get there, and Lumba hits his first boundary of the day.
Well placed by Lumba. He had a day yesterday too. Very well placed. A little too easy for him there at that width.
Close of over number 5, 69 for 1. More Atish Gawand. So, change for him, getting him a slightly older ball. Do you like the tactic also getting him into the cedar fork end?
Yeah, I think getting him in the attack at all is definitely wise. We know he's very capable. He moves the ball well. He's a fun bowler to watch. And they're moving the field around now.
Yeah, just positioning someone at cow corner where Kunrajit has liked to take those fuller deliveries and packing that region a backwards square. 2 men short, very close together. And then likes to go slower, wider, fuller. Intriguing for this field, Nate.
Yeah, very interesting. Interesting decision there.
Where do you bowl to this? What would you come out with? Long on.
I mean, I think you're trying to go fuller at the off stump a little bit. Try to get him to.
Well done. Really nice. Maybe not the way they drew it up, but they'll take it in the end to save a boundary.
Yeah, what would you do, Aman?
Well, this is a start. Cameron, calm.
Nice. Teamwork.
Well done. Yeah, I think you're right. I think everything's got to be angled towards off stump, and you just vary your length from there. So you can get full and on to off stump, bowl that delivery we just saw, but force them to be hitting into that very area. One bounce short of the fielder. There you go. See, this is what you have to do. I think oftentimes in cricket we think of the extremes. You're either dealing in boundaries or you're dealing in wickets, but you've got to earn your wickets. You've got to build that pressure. Even in a T20 game, you've got to have a plan of how you're going to take wickets, not just a hope.
Well, at Church Street Park, one of those ways to manufacture that pressure is, we've seen this season at least, it almost comes automatically when you bring out the spinners. And I think Fort Lauderdale's a little short on spinners in their last couple of games in their 11. But this is the early session, and I think it's a good time for face bowlers here. But because the run rate goes down when a spinner comes in at Church Street Park, you automatically create that pressure.
These two each had a 50 yesterday, Lumba and Gunwarjit Singh. And it was just an extension of a partnership that blossomed yesterday. They don't take dot balls, Nate. That's the big key. Very rarely do you see 2 or more dot balls in and over for these two.
Yeah, very crucial. As you said, you know, turn a good ball into a single, turn a single into 2, and turn every mistake into a boundary, and that's pretty much the way this Baltimore team deals.
Straight through! Gawan's return into the attack, and he returns into the wickets.
Lumba won't be able to convert this one. He's going back to the shed. Yesterday he scored 60 runs, today just 9. What a delivery there. Look at that ball dip there. Beautiful.
Playing all around it was Lumba, unable to cash in on a start of 9 off 5 at 75 for 2. Rishi Dhawan walks in at 4. He's been getting more and more opportunities with the bat up the order. And like we said, not just good for the Royals to have another batting option, but good for Dhawan in his case to make it to Major League Cricket.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see how he goes. This is usually we have 2 more balls in the power play. And then we typically get to a slowdown period here at Church Street Park. And if you're doing so well right here, if you're Baltimore, 75 so far in the power play, but you do have those 2 wickets, and so I expect things to slow down a little bit. So Dhawan will want to bat long to earn the right to score fast.
And Gawan, he's back on the money, using this greener surface, and when he's on the right length, Nate, he's so effective.
Yeah, both him and Gaur, very tricky, and it's fun to watch the different ways that, you know, the different tools that every bowler has in their tool chest.
And how often do wickets do this? Bring along a couple of dot balls.
Yeah, and that's the end of the power play. Baltimore are flying at 75 for 2.
Second spinner introduced. It's Ronak Sharma, the captain. And this has been the real staple of the Royals game. Whilst they slow down, they don't slow to a halt like a lot of teams in the middle. They still always manage 6 runs and over.
Oh, absolutely. You don't want dot balls against a spin attack here at Church Street Park. And Baltimore has done such a great job of just 1-1-1-1-1 and then taking advantage of a miss from the bowler. But not forcing anything. We've seen Kunwarjeet just scoring off everything, finding a way to score off of every ball and do it in a safe way. Aman, and let's see how Rishi Dhawan does.
Mid-wicket fielder brought up for Dublin. Well stopped. Really nice from Nehal Kathakdan moving to his left.
Very good stop. Got 2 hands on it. Well struck too.
Did not pick that googly, did Rishi Dhawan, but enough to get the hands down.
Yeah, late decision, but a good one from Dhawan. I mean, I wish I could do that.
And again, even at this point for Baltimore, they go through this over without scoring another run. They've gone over 10 runs and over still. The start that they got off to has propelled them to really not have to take any risks through this period of the game. And so Kunwarjeet Singh will be more than happy just to do this against the good deliveries of Ronak Sharma. And so that goes back to our conversation about Mukhtar Ahmed opening. It makes a lot of sense as to why the Royals have tried that experiment. They want to get off to this kind of start where you score 70 in a power play.
Oh, absolutely. The power play is so important here at Church Street Park. And they absolutely maximized it, scoring 74.
You know, for a long time in USA cricket, there weren't worries about left-handers. Gajnan Singh, Stephen Taylor, always there and available. And then you could really, from there, you can really build around because that's one of your openers, one of your middle-order players, and then you can find a couple others. You look across there now, and you're really looking at Shali Van Skalkvik, and that's the only one that you've got on the roster.
And Harmeet. But
Absolutely.
Harmeet, more of a basher, more
Right.
of a finisher.
Close of over 778 for 2. So whenever you see a left-hander start to have real success, you just perk your ears up. And the reason you look at left-handers, and even like young left-handers, Rahman Dar is another great example of a young left-hander who's found a lot of success. I think Kunwarjeet Singh, his X factor is the versatility, because when you speak about that USA 11, your first 4 pretty much seems set across all formats of Manang Patel, Andres Ghosh, Saiteji Mukamala, and Sanjay Krishnamurti.
That's right. And all of them versatile, too, in their own ways. Throwing in a Kunwarjeet Singh into the mix, I mean, the guy scores boundaries safely, you know, and that's one thing that Andres Ghosh is also very good at that, although he will definitely take his chances and stuff. But I think Kunwarjeet, you could see him in both formats. I think you could think about him as a 110 strike rate in ODI.
I think it would be much higher than that. These shots are extravagant. What a way to welcome Ardav Mishra into the crease.
Beautifully played here. We've seen a lot of good shots over the covers today.
Deep into those trees there. Again, you mentioned it's the conventional nature of his strokes that make him someone for the ODI team that could be really useful straight away. And again, that 5 spot, it's not like there aren't names that are in that number 5 position in his way. Milind Kumar, I think Shubham Ranjane, who hasn't debuted yet, but he would be right amongst the conversation to bat at number 5. So it's not saying that he's automatically jumped them. He's just maybe your lone left-handed option for a number 5 position.
And as far as I know, he still has plenty of time to be in country before he's eligible. So anything could happen between now and then. We could have emerging players that we're talking about more and more.
Yeah.
There's plenty of names to discuss now as it is.
I mean, don't forget about Gurr Srivastava, local here. But
Sure.
remember, came on to the ODI team, scored a half-century on debut against Scotland.
Plus visibility with the ball.
Absolutely. So there's plenty of names that throw around, but Kunwarjeet, maybe the lone lefty. And that becomes a really intriguing option.
Yeah, that's true. You know, go back to that World Cup where we beat Pakistan. Look at that squad. How many lefties did we have in that squad? We had a lot of lefties in that squad. We had a lot of lefty bats in that team. We had Corey Anderson. We had Stephen Taylor.
Yeah, don't forget about what Corey Anderson just did as well. 101 off of just 48 deliveries. Spectacular.
Yeah, I wonder about his interest in the national team side. I mean, we'd love to see him back in it, especially after an innings like that.
Mishra's bowled quite nicely. He's come back beautifully after that initial boundary. Just the 3 runs from 4 deliveries.
Yeah, he's done very well. We've seen some good recoveries here from young bowlers this weekend after going big for a first ball.
And just gives up 4 singles after the initial boundary. Well done, Mishra. 86 for 2. Calls for 2. And excellent running, excellent recognition of the field as well. That World Cup that you talked about, it's so interesting because you look at the next one and it's already here. You know, it feels like we're into these World Cups so fast. But man, that squad selection, selecting an 11, I don't know if there's become a more difficult task thanks to the amount of depth available.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right, and we have discussed it on various media before. We've had our opinions out there. Everyone's got their opinions, and you know, it's funny because you hear an opinion that's very different from your own, and you're like, that's valid. That's valid.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good to have that problem.
Gunwarjeet Singh in Church Street Park. Name a better combination. A 4th half-century in minor league cricket. All here at this venue. And yet again, there's no raise of the bat. Just a thumbs up. Because this is business as usual.
Very focused Kunwarjeet Singh. My goodness, very talented Kunwarjeet Singh. We are lucky to see all of this.
Oh, Kunwarjeet, where you going? Where you going? Focus on that crease line.
Well, Sharma just gave him more time in case he wants to hold his bat up. He still has time.
It didn't take any time to get to 50, just off 29 deliveries. Sensational. And he never looks like he's fatiguing because he's willing to do this. Take on fielders.
He is a hustler. He is a complete cricketer, that's for sure. He's going to give it his all the entire innings. We've seen him here in games that were very much over. No suspense whatsoever left, and he's hustling around the field after every single ball.
Your comment about how there's so many different opinions. Again, another double. It's so true, and like we will talk about that media platform that we were on, where we were alongside three other individuals, and all of whom gave 11s. There were a couple locks, but then there were a couple of selections that were so different. For myself, the two main differences were I didn't have Harmeet Singh in my team. Well, that was given the fact that we thought Hassan Khan would be eligible. But I had Mohsin, I had Obis, Pinar. I didn't have Nash Kinjige part of my 15. He was part of my 17.
Yeah, it's wild how differing the opinions are and how valid, as I said, how valid they all are.
Yeah, Brian Walters didn't have Sai Mukamala in his T20 team either. End of 9, 96 for 2. And again, there's so many combinations and so many names that were left off of teams that probably deserve to be there as Mishra continues. Think about Unmukt Chand, Nate. He was on the tips of all of our tongues, but we just couldn't find room to put him in the squad.
And that's more because of how good our top order currently is.
Finds the gap wonderfully so, Kunarjit Singh.
He is definitely not done. I think he's not putting that bat up because I think he's got bigger goals.
There's no total to chase. He's only chasing himself. And he will never miss out on that delivery. And again, I think by the time the next World Cup rolls around, he has a chance to be eligible. And I think he'll be on the tips, if he carries this form, of everyone's tongue talking about selection.
And we talked. You mentioned Hassan Khan. He'll be eligible by not this World Cup, but the following one if we make it there. And you've got. I think he would be included in. As long as he continues his incredible form, he's definitely got. He's definitely got the talent, the ability.
Yeah, for me, Mohammed Mohsin was a point of contention. I really believed going to the subcontinent, you got to have that leg spinner. This option in India.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Mohsin was on most of our squads when we looked at it. He was in your 11, my 11. I think and especially now watching him more at Church Street Park, seeing his ability to adapt to the batters, to the conditions.
And he's another lefty bat. I know it'd be down the order, but another one of those.
I was talking to him about execution last night, Mohsin, about his ability to execute and how that opens up.
Delicate. Very nicely executed.
And that's going to be 2, but yeah, I talked to Mohsin about his ability to execute and how that opens up the creativity for him.
Mm-hmm.
If he can imagine a setup, he can execute it. And when you have that kind of confidence in your ability and the ability to execute, it really does open up options for you to just find the little gaps in the armor.
No doubt about it. Well, the execution has been spot on from the Baltimore Royals. They're 103 for 2 at the close of the 10th over. They'll take a little break out there. The players and the match officials will join them. Join us when we return here at Church Street Park.
And Nehal looks to take the ball to start the second half of the first innings. Kunwarjit Singh on strike. Boy, has he been red hot. Dewan doing a good job of getting Kunwarjit Singh back on strike. And no one's catching that one. 6 runs right over Wesley Jackson's outstretched hands. My goodness, this one flew.
Break and play, no breaking runs. Wesley Jackson for a moment was saying, I'm here, I'm in. No, mate, it's gone over you.
I mean, he hit that. When you hit it that far, that flat, that was out of here like a bullet. And they decide not to test Wesley Jackson's arm, and I think that was wise. He throws very well. You know, when you see these young players, and we talk about, there he is right there on your screen, we talk about their batting and their bowling, how important is the fielding for the youngsters, and I think Wesley Jackson's really shown that he's up to task.
100%. He's been stationed in the outfield the entirety of the time that he's played in minor league cricket, and he's run around the field beautifully, thrown in some great deliveries, saves a couple of twos on a couple of occasions.
And you could see the hesitation when the balls hit to him. You could see the hesitation on the batters. You know, you always want to know who's getting the ball, who's going to throw it back in, so that you know whether or not to start for 2. This one very well placed. Doesn't matter who's throwing that one in.
Yeah, effortless for the Royals in gaining 2s and deciding whether to go or not. You don't see him waste too much energy and too much time debating. Something that the Lions have struggled with, the Raptors have struggled with, the Galaxy at times. Even you think about the Lightning, there's certain times where, because of new partnerships, they haven't been able to discuss 1s or 2s. It doesn't feel like the Royals miss a beat no matter who the batting combination is.
No, they certainly don't. I was wondering how Dewan would go in this inning. He's doing his job. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. And I said earlier he'll want to be there a while to earn the quick runs. And that one gets through the field. Aman, you mentioned before, as a bowler, you've got to build up the pressure, earn the ability to be aggressive and try to go for wickets. As a batter, you've got to earn the right, the privilege to go big for runs. You got to know when the situation is. Sometimes you come in and you have that privilege immediately, and sometimes you have to earn it.
Yeah, and for the Lions, more likely than not, you're going to have to earn it. They had to earn it every time out yesterday, and yet again today. If they wanted to hold Baltimore anywhere under 190, and it's going to need to be a flurry of wickets in a hurry.
You see, every time Kunwarjit Singh strikes the ball, the fielders have to run to one side or the other. He doesn't put it directly at the boundary fielders. He makes them work for it, always gives him the chance to potentially come back for 2.
And that's why, again, you've said you would love to see him in an ODI system, in an ODI setup when he becomes eligible, because that's such an ODI style thing to do.
Well struck here. It's going to race, but the fielder makes a great stop.
And tremendous. Again, those efforts are your differences when you talk about how to claw back into a game. Instead of giving 4, you save up 2 runs, and that'll close the 11th over, 116 for 2.
And Vanjari with the ball. We're going to see how he does. His very first ball today is going to be against Kunwarjit Singh.
Yeah, that's not an easy task for Shodi Vanjari, the young seamer. the left arm seamer. Solid run up. When you look at the end of his action, that's where his biggest weakness is, and you just got to look at that stride out, and we'll see what he can do. If he can break this partnership, Gurjit Singh, I think he wants a change of gloves. No, it's Rishi Dhawan that wants the change. And the helmet comes out for Gurjit Singh as well.
Puts the headband on there.
He's got a great head of hair, so he's got to protect it.
Sometimes from this distance, you'll see the hair.
Mm-hmm.
And who do you think of? You think of Lada. There's been a couple times in the field where I've seen them at a distance and seen the hair coming out. And, Lada's got that hair too. It's the hair. It's the hair. Oh my goodness. Oh, he misses. But Gurjit Singh doesn't miss. That's 4 runs.
Yeah, you can see there's a lot of moving parts of the action. Wrist cocked and moving down the leg side, and that's just far too easy for someone in Gurjit Singh's flow. Was never going to miss out on that kind of a gift.
Now you see Gurjit come across the stumps there, play that right off his heel.
Yeah, Vanjadi, again, he can present challenges. It's just with all those moving pieces at the end of his run-up, he's just got to find a way to be consistent. Better. Lot better. Again, he's an intriguing option. I think he's got decent pace. He's obviously going to continue to grow into his skill set. But the run-up, you can see there's great intent through, great ferocity at the crease. So there's tools for this young man.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rishi Dhawan is going to get his turn at the youngster. See if he continues to facilitate Gurjit Singh, or if he decides to take on this bowler. What a stop there. What an effort there. Terrific by third.
And Ronak Sharma might have just done himself a disservice. He's holding his arm. Bit gimpy. We saw him yesterday with the knee, and you can see he's holding the elbow. Hoping that that's just he's hit the funny bone, maybe.
No fun landing on the elbow, let me tell you. Yesterday he took a very nice catch. So he's been very active in the field. A couple of memorable plays from him this weekend. This one's pulled and placed in between the field, and it's going for 4.
How effortless is Gurjit Singh? This has not been pummeled, it's been placed. He's got such fast hands, and he knows exactly where he wants to put the ball. And that's what separates him from everybody else right now at Church Street Park.
He just hits it so cleanly, so effortlessly. Aman, his ability to move the field around and split the field. We see Manank Patel with that ability as well. And this one's up. This one's up in the air. It's a chance, but it's been spilled. Oh, it was a difficult chance.
This is the first time Gurjit Singh has done something rash, and the first time something's gone awry. It was straight up into the air, a bit of wind swirling, and so much work for Long Off to do. Got his hands to it. He'll feel like he should have held on, but that was never going to be easy.
That is difficult. Dead over the bowler's head. Dead straight. That's what saved him. But in that situation, you have the 2 fielders running towards each other. Certainly, it's got to be in their minds as they look up into the sky that a collision might be coming. But that's Gurjit's ability, even when he mishits it, to split the field so well. And Ronak, we'll see how he's still moving to the ball well.
Yeah, you mentioned Gurjit Singh there, and we'll talk about him once we come back. Close at 12, 128 for 2.
Rashesh Behera. Aman, he has been very passionate. We've seen him express frustrations yesterday, enthusiasm when things go well. He is quite a passionate cricketer. Now he's going to want to take a wicket here and express some of that passion.
Yeah, he hates feeling like he's out of the contest. That's his biggest thing. He always wants to be in the game. He always wants to feel as if his team has a chance. And that's where that passion comes from.
Oh, nice. Lovely shot from Dhawan. That's running away for 4.
Rishi Dhawan, he walks into the crease all broad-shouldered, comes out with the sleeves rolled up, and you think he's going to come down to do some destructive damage. And then he says, no, I can just do that. Keep third up in the ring. I can play it so delicately. Down to Lance, our grounds crew here at Church Street Park, who's done a brilliant job.
Oh, yes, the grounds crew has been fantastic.
Tell you what, they got a little bit of a stretcher yesterday. Someone's taking a nap. They have a good time down there in between their time in the middle. It's impressive, though, Nate. The pitch we were last on had 9 games on it, and it held up beautifully. No signs of any deterioration.
Held up quite well. Saw that in the second innings yesterday. Well played there. Rishi Dhawan is expressing himself. That one will go for 4.
He's just toying with Behera now. He just pushed third deep, so he says, okay, fine legs in the ring. I'll take you over that side now. I mean, this guy, Rishi Dhawan, he is showing off.
Yeah, he did exactly the opposite of what he did on the prior ball. Looks like he's ready to join the run-scoring party. I said earlier, you want to earn the ability to score quickly. It looks like Rishi Dhawan is pretty satisfied with what he's done so far, and he says, I think I'm going to ramp it up a bit. Struck. Clean, but that's just 1 run.
Yeah, smart cricket. I've hit 2 boundaries. Gunarjit, over to you. You try and score some now.
I just hit a couple boundaries. Let me get it to the guy who's 73 from 41. I think that's always a smart move.
You can't blame him for it. It's 137 already on the board. From this point, the Royals can walk their way to 150 like we talked about earlier.
Oh, they're eyeing a 210, 220, I think, right now.
No question.
And they're well on their way to that. I think they'll be very disappointed if they don't get close to 210, at least. And we talked about a lot this weekend about net run rate, how important that is. Well, in the South, when you're going to have some weather cancellations, we've already had one where Baltimore absolutely dominated Morrisville in the first innings, bowled them all out for a very small total. I think it's 63, something like that. And then the game washed out. We had a deluge here at Church Street Park, and they had to split points on a game where they were very much going to walk away with a win.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are games that's the game that Baltimore will sit there and say, man, this could be the difference between us making the playoffs and not making it. So whilst there is a split in this division, I think you'd have to be silly not to say that. There's 3 teams who are competing for a championship now and 3 teams who are building for the future with a young team. And you can see where the points lie. Right now, Baltimore, with their games this weekend, have joined the top 2. But they could easily be sitting outside of it. So they know when they play these 3 teams that are building and playing for the future, they have to win by margins now, and there's no other option. Close of over 13, 139 for 2.
Vijari will continue. Hopeful to get his full quota today. Well, that's a good delivery there. Dhawan trying to do something very specific with that ball.
It was a great time for the youngster to get in and learn. Here, you're under pressure. These batters are now looking to attack you. What are your options to prevent that? This is what's made Atindus Romanian such an unbelievable minor league asset. What's made Aryan Batra in years past, Rushilu Garkar. Remember, he was a third option seamer for the Dallas Mustangs.
Struck well. Jackson won't get to that one, and it's 4 runs from Dhawan.
So these are your opportunities to learn. And Rishi Dhawan is saying here's a trial by fire. First time, went on a knee, tried to sweep him. Now he says, no, I'll just use my feet. Be more conventional. And he said, you pushed me to wicket too far around.
Trying to intercept any bounce. We saw the last one maybe a little lower than you would have thought. Dhawan wanted to take the bounce out of the equation completely. This one over the bat. Dhawan tried to go to the back foot, played late.
Great response from Vanjadi. Again, he's having to learn on the fly. There's no time to sit and rest on your laurels. He's come back, pulled the length, slowed the ball down as well. So daring Dhawan now to create his own pace.
You see Mario making some noise there, trying to get everybody up, trying to get everybody ready. Sensing something might happen here. Once again, Dhawan skips down the wicket. He'll strike this one directly to Jackson.
Looking, getting to 150 before that 15 over mark. The Royals, oh no, Fort Lauderdale, what have you done? It's a no ball. So you've overstepped. I was just getting ready to say the Royals have not gone under 10 and over from the outset. They've gone at over 11 and over from the word go. And this won't help that cause. Free hit for none other than Gunwarjit Singh.
A free hit, and Mario comes up to the stumps here. This is a smart move, I think.
Well bowled. Really nicely bowled from Vanjadi. Slower Yorker, and not much for Singh to work with.
Now Aman on that no ball. There's only a couple ways you can get out on a no ball. You can't get caught out. You can't get bowled. Mario came up to stand up behind the stumps to keep one of the ways you can get out into play. Make sure that Gunwarjit Singh's feet weren't too happy. I think that was a very smart move, and he'll stay up here with Dhawan, who's skipped down the wicket a couple of times so far. Struck well, but one hopped. And that gives Gunwarjit Singh the final ball of the over to face. As we see Mario stood up at the stumps.
Yeah, it's a smart ploy from Ram Prasad, and it shows that even though the Lions might feel that they're out of the game, they have one of their leaders saying, look, we're in it. Ronak Sharma led in the field, and now Ram Prasad very vocal and very adamant about keeping the tactics at hand.
This one's up, and it's caught very easily. And that's the end of the day for Gunwarjit Singh, who was definitely eyeing a century, but he'll leave 75 from 44, from 45 actually.
Vanjadi's first ever minor league wicket, and it nearly was that collision. No communication, but Bhatti Bandla got enough of it. Gunwarjit Singh, he'll feel disappointed, but he's played unbelievably well. 75 on 45, like you mentioned, Nate. 147 for 3 at the close of 14.
And Aman, look at this. Who's coming in now? Agni Chopra, the lefty.
Yeah, there's your reward. You get Gunarjit Singh out, and you have to deal with this man. Agni Dev Chopra goes by ADC, and you just see all of his destructive components come out since being pushed down the order into this number 5 role. And remember the other night, 44 off 22 in a destructive day.
Yeah, very destructive. And Arnab Mishra will face Rishi Dhawan on the first ball of the 15th over here. As Baltimore have 147 for 3. Creative once again. He scooped this one over his head, and it's going to run all the way to the boundary for 4.
Rishi Dhawan is just showing off. Again, he's allowed himself to find new areas of the field, and this innovative ability, just recognizing that fine leg is up inside the ring and pushed very wide towards square leg. So he had to get it fine and up, and does both of them brilliantly.
You can sense he's just been itching to unleash his creativity this innings as he supported Kunwarjit Singh. But as I mentioned, he earned the right to expand. And he's starting to do that right now. Ooh, this one gets through, and this will put Chopra on strike.
You don't see Ramprasad miss too many. And I'm not sure why he's missed that one. Dhawan wants a wide. I think you can watch that back, and you're going to realize it wasn't that wide. You've just missed it altogether. It's given his buys, and now Dhawan's really frustrated. Because I think Dhawan initially said, okay, I think I've hit it. I haven't. So it must be wide then. And then he's talked his way out of a run there, apparently.
Chopra. Anyways, he looks so comfortable, Chopra has so far here at Church Street Park against the spinners. Looks pretty much comfortable against any style. You mentioned before his astronomical average in first-class cricket. And he'll get off the mark here.
Yeah, again, he's just got so much ability in terms of shot selection and then the placement and the regions he can access. And he can kind of flip the switch. He can start out nice and simple, collecting 1s and 2s or his first 10 and then turn it on. But what has really been impressive is seeing him go from ball 1, which he's been able to do.
Ooh, Dhawan got himself in some trouble there. And the umpire says no, says he got back in time. But that was a close one, Aman.
Yeah, I think much closer than Dhawan was anticipating. A little lackadaisical with the running. And then right there, he decided to put on the jets. And good fundamentals, dragging the bat, saved him.
Yeah, he got that back down first thing first. Got one more ball in the over. Dhawan's climbed his strike rate up. Struck well. 6 runs. What a shot from Dhawan. That one traveled in a hurry.
Jeez Louise. Rishi Dhawan, he's shown his ability to be cute and innovative and then say, yep, I can grip down on the handle and send it downtown as well. And that one's gone into the little canyon. Close of 15, 159 for 3.
Started the 16th over. Gawand in the attack. Well struck by Chopra, and he skittles down quickly, but there's no way they were going to get 2 there. Dewan, 47 from 32 right here.
Yeah, he's been brilliant. His high score in minor league is 47 runs, so he's reached it. Never had a 50 in his minor league career. He's on the cusp of something special now.
Look at his strike rate's pretty good. And he'll play this one for 1.
And what's impressive is the recognition from him as well. It's not just see ball, hit ball, it's picking his shots, and then he's shown off the range. I think a lot of times when you think about those big hitting fast bowlers, there isn't much range. There's a couple of areas where they're strong, and then you get them out of that comfort zone, they struggle to find ways to score. That's why Calvin Savage is such a unicorn. Rishi Loveland's saying, hey, I can score all around the ground as well.
Chopra takes this one on, and it's into the seats. 6 runs.
Well, we said Chopra, he's shown off this ability to start right away. Full in the slot and says, thank you, see you later. And you're never going to challenge Agni Chopra with that.
Well, we saw Dewan with the short, quick punches, and Chopra there. That was a tee shot. That was a tee shot right off the tees. Chopra goes for the reverse sweep. Comes up with air. Good length there at least.
It's not a bad option here for Chopra. Why? Well, there's a fielder backward point and a fielder at third, so he gets any elevation on it. It's 4 or 6, and Gawand doesn't have the pace to rush Chopra through that shot, so he's got a lot of time to set for it. The thing that's impressive about Chopra is that he doesn't fall in love with it. Yes, he'll look to use it often, but if it doesn't come off the first time, he's willing to play another shot, get off strike, and not soak up the dot balls.
Yeah, and we've seen that also from Dewan, who at times looks like he might be the type of batter to just commit to aggression. But we've seen a couple of times where he'll get a boundary and then follow it with a really smart single. Another smart single there from Dewan, knowing how well Chopra runs down to the other end. Baltimore at 169 for 3 after 16 overs. Gower back in the attack. Dewan, we've seen that a couple times from Dewan. And that brings up his 50 from 35 balls. What an innings here from Dewan. His first ever half century in minor league cricket.
He hasn't realized. I think just now he's figured out that he's gotten to his 50 thanks to the cheers from the crowd. They want him to lift the bat, but he says, no, it's okay. I'm not done yet either. This seems to be a trend now in the Baltimore Royals setup. No need to lift the bat. The 50s to be expected.
Well, I'd be throwing my bat up in the air, that's for sure.
Any 50s in your career, Nate?
No. Come on now. We don't have to talk about this.
Look, don't worry. I don't have any either. So I'm not throwing any shade. I was just wondering if between us, if we had one.
You know, I thought I had one game, and I was like waiting for some noise, and then I come off with, carrying my bat at the end of the innings, and I'm like, what did I score? And they're like, we don't know. We messed up the scorecard. Straight up over the bowler's head and into safety.
So, Nate, were you the type of person that would count their runs?
No, not at all. I had too many other things to worry about.
Okay. Because I had one of the guys I played youth cricket with, Aryan Shah, who has played a season of minor league cricket. He would not only count the runs he scored, but the number of balls he played.
Yeah.
So he could come off the field and tell you he scored 60 off of 65.
Look, I can do two things at once, and that's bat and run.
I could barely do one of those things, Nate.
I didn't say I could do them well. This one struck well, splits the field, runs away for 4 over the rope.
Just got into a great position very early. Anticipated the slower delivery, so he gets back and across, waits on it, and look how open he was. He was ready to heave. And once he connected, it was always destined for the rope.
Yeah, pivoting on that back foot. You saw his front foot in the air when the ball came off the bat there. Beautifully played by Devon. 54 from 36 so far. This one hit no doubt 6, right up the hill. Dewan is really turning it on right now. He is not finished.
Just getting started. A simple skip. And this one, there was no doubt straight off the bat. And there's a couple of fans sitting right there that are cheering for Fort Lauderdale. And he says, cheer for this.
Oh, boy, what a shot there. You see how quick he is with his hands, how quick and short he is to the ball. He pulls this one into the gap. This one's going for 4, 2.
3 in a row for Rishi Dhawan, and 3 in different areas. He's gone square, he's gone straight, and now just conventionally through cow corner. This time all along the carpet. It's raced along like a tracer bullet, Nate.
And that ends the 17th. Baltimore blasting 185 for 3. You've got 3 overs left, Aman. What do you think they're going to get to?
I think predictions aren't meant to be said at the moment for this, because I think they could easily push to 225. And I know that's 40 more runs in 3 overs, but I don't think that's out of the question. I think they're more likely to be somewhere around 215, but I wouldn't be surprised to get upwards of 225.
Yeah, that would be something here at Church Street Park. We don't usually see those high scores in the 200 range at Church Street Park. Oftentimes you can look at the first 10 overs and you can multiply it by 2, add a few runs, and that's going to be your prediction for the final score. Here at Church Street Park, it's oftentimes just multiply the first 10 by 2 and make a range somewhere 15 runs shy of that or 15 runs after. This one well placed again by Chopra. My goodness.
This is what I'm talking about. 225 is not out of the question, because both of these batters will take you apart anywhere along the ground. There's a bit of width, fractionally short, and Chopra just had to climb into it. No fielder even moved once it was hit.
Yeah. Convincing 6 there from Chopra. As you mentioned, nobody moved. So there's moving the field around, and then there's keeping the field still. Oh, good delivery there from Behera. Good recovery. And we're seeing a discussion here. with Alvin. O'Hara will pull up there. And I'm not sure what they're discussing here, but it continues.
And now Dublin's got in as well. Smiles all around, though, so friendly. That's what we like to see. And it's easy to be friendly when Alvin's out there umpiring.
Isn't that the truth? An institution of the community. Look at that shot. Very well played. Well stopped there, Wesley Jackson.
He's done really nicely there to keep himself off the rope and off the ball. He was having to move well out to his right. It's never easy to move in that direction and then stop and try to watch where your back feet are. You know, it's hard enough to keep the ball in front of you. And that's the little nuance that cricket provides. Again, really nicely worked here.
Yeah, he keeps it directly in front of himself there. Chopra strikes this one down the ground, but it's just one.
I'm curious to see how Dublin greets Behera, because again, he's shown off the little cute looks through third, through fine leg. He could go back to those options. There is short third, a short fine leg. So he can easily look to lift it in those regions, or he could look to be the punishing Rishi Dublin that's come alive in the last couple of overs.
And this one by the fine leg fielder for 4.
On cue, Nate. Again, it was very simple. With that fine leg in and that short third in, it means anything with pace, Dublin was going to maneuver himself. He's got all the way to off stump to access that area. If you're going to keep those fielders up, you have to be slower. You have to be fuller. You cannot give Dublin the ability to lift you into those areas.
He's having no problems accessing the boundary behind himself on either side. And he'll hit this one a mile. My goodness, right into the net. That is one of the bigger sixes we've seen.
Again, he's just got the ability to do both. He can be nice and cute and then destructive. And climbed into it, got all of it. And next time you see it, thank God for that netting. Otherwise, there was a car right there. 200 on the board with 2 overs to go.
Now, Chopra, this is another no-doubter. It was definitely outside. There's a holler there at the fielder, but he was definitely not going to take that inside the rope.
No, there was never a question if he could push that back in. Remember, the new ICC rules also indicate that you have to be inbounds when you take off. So he couldn't do either. Nate, that 225 looks more and more reasonable.
I would expect it at this point. Chopra again. 4 runs this time. Oh my gosh. He is on it today.
He's maneuvered this. Look at the late wrist flick. He's turned that around the corner. There's a fielder backward square. But that's the recognition of Chopra and this batting group. They know how to place deliveries around.
Around and over. This run rate is just enormous for the innings. 11.67 for the entire innings. Still 10 deliveries to go. And you're looking at approaching 230 right now if you're Baltimore. This one's easy. 4 runs, nobody even close to that one.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. And you can just hear the silence everywhere for the Fort Lauderdale Lions. There's not a word being said. There's not a movement. It's a funeral proceeding. Where's that ball pulling that wide for? What's the purpose?
Yeah.
It's not Agni Chopra said, I'm only going to hit you on the onside. You can try to push it that wide, but you have to go across Chopra. From this angle, if you push it that wide, he's always going to hit you over cover.
Well, now they've moved the fielder just where the ball just went, reactively.
And he's changed his angle yet again.
This one on the stumps. Much better delivery. We have seen some good stuff from Nihal.
I don't think this is a day that's indicative of the Fort Lauderdale Lions. They're better than what we've seen. It's more of a day that I think the Baltimore Royals are showing exactly how good they are with the bat. I think today they've put it all together. Mukhtar Ahmed fired. Obviously Kunwarjit Singh fired. Sharad Lumba didn't fire today. But Rishi Dhawan, he's got more than enough runs for what you'd expect for him. And Agni Chopra's come in and played the destructive role. They've gotten contributions from everybody in this lineup.
And both of these teams played yesterday too, so there might be some fatigue in the bowling side. Well reached after the commitment to come down the pitch.
But you can feel it for Fort Lauderdale. They're flat. They're flat as flat can get. They're an open Coke bottle after 3 days, Nate.
That's a good one, actually. I think you're right. I'm going to have to write that one down, Amon.
I don't get many moments of brilliance, but there's a couple. A few gems in between.
Oh, this one served up and put away. Chopra takes him behind backward square again.
For all our Harry Potter fans, Professor Flitwick said, a swish and flick, and that's exactly that was from Agni Chopra. Just looking to maneuver it. Close of 19, 224 for 3. Well, who's going to bowl the last over? Nate. We saw a boundary hit, and this man, Atish Gawand, he's made a long walk. It's always a long walk when 224 is on the board. But just take a look at where his walk started. It started all the way outside the boundary. He's had the hat off since he went to fetch the ball. Never gave the ball up. He's held it in his hand the whole time. Take a look. Ball gets hit. It gets put away to the boundary. There's Gawand. And he just has to go get it and run all the way up to bowl the final over.
Well, you said Fort Lauderdale are a little bit flat. Now, Gawand, I don't think he could wait to bowl this over. He carried his hat about 70 yards, ready to go.
224. What could be put on the board now? It's 240 on the cards.
Oh my goodness. Another big one.
High score coming into the day for Rishi Dhawan was 47. He moves into the 80s now. And again, it's been destruction, it's been innovation, but it's all been perfect.
And we saw Kunwarjit with the 75, and now we see Dhawan pass him. 81 from just 42 balls. What an innings by this destructive Dhawan. And this one will put Chopra on strike. Chopra has 4 balls and 38 runs to his name at this Baltimore 231 for 3. This is an enormous score at Church Street Park.
It's just ridiculous. And again, it's the full blunt of this Royals batting attack. That's why me and you both agreed, while the two favorites coming into the year were Kings 11 Dallas and the Chicago Kingsmen, rightfully so, the Royals should be a part of that conversation, and to me, give the Atlantic Conference the best chance to win the division. That was coming into the season. I think they give the Atlantic Conference the best chance to win the league.
I agree. I think, we've got other good teams here in the Atlantic. This Baltimore squad looked so good last season in the Super 8.
Mm-hmm.
To me, there are elements of this team that look even better this year.
I agree.
And one of those elements to me is their hustle in the field. Ooh, he loses his bat, and this one goes up in the air. It's just going to be the one run. That bat went over there to mid-wicket, didn't it?
Well, I tell you what, it's not quite the humidest of days, but Agni Chopra, he's swinging hard. He's swinging for the fences. And the bat traveled a good distance for Agni. I tell you what, it wasn't just a right next to the pitch moment. It carried halfway to the 30-yard circle, so a nice little 15-yard out route he just threw there, Nate, on a NFL Sunday.
Yes, it was.
Hardest throw to make in football, Nate.
Dewan's just going to get one off of this one. So Gawand has answered that 6 pretty well here at the end. It's certainly too little too late. Just a couple more balls left in this over. And these two batters throwing their bats all over the place. They want to maximize these last 2. And another wide here.
You can see a clear ploy from Gawand. I wouldn't be shocked here if Agni Chopra decides to get innovative, because Gawand is now most likely going to pull his length back and be straighter. I wouldn't be surprised to either see him open the face or just look to ramp.
Yeah, we've got all the fielders are up inside the circle behind him. That one gets through. And they're going to run it out. Good stop there by Mario.
Yeah, incredibly well kept. It dipped late and cut off the surface. And surprised both Chopra and Mario did beautifully. Only thing Rampersad would have wanted was that direct hit. But this is what the Royals do. Like you said, even the good balls, somehow that's gone for 1. It's gone straight to the keeper off the bowler, and they get the single.
That's exactly right. They're a relentless team. And what was a bang of an innings will end with just a single, but that's 237 for 3 on the board for Baltimore. What an enormous total.
From my memory, is the highest total at Church Street Park in minor league cricket.
Yeah, I've been thinking, I can't think of anything that comes close to this.
We've seen 1 200 score this season. That was the Atlanta Fire. And now the Baltimore Royals have matched it. And that batting scorecard, Nate, is confirmation of the destruction that we just saw. Gunwarjit Singh, 75 off 45. And Rishi Dhawan, the high score of the day, 84 off of 45. And the Royals with 237.
Not a whole lot to like about this bowling attack for Fort Lauderdale. We did get 3 wickets, but only Ronak Sharma and Arnab able to keep their economy under 9, as everybody else went expensive.
237. The Lions, they won the toss. They chose to bowl first, and they didn't have this in mind. But when we return, they'll try to get 238 on this fresh wicket. Can they do it on another doubleheader here at Church Street Park? Join us to find out. Welcome back to Church Street Park. Well, it's going to be an uphill climb, that's for sure. It might have to be climbing Everest because 238 is what's required for the Fort Lauderdale Lions to claim victory today. The Baltimore Royals, it'll be a new opening bowling pair because there is no Adil Bhatti. They have put him aside for the day, just wanting to rest their seamer. The man who has the ball in his hand is Rishiv Joshi. Left arm seamer, first action here in minor league cricket this season. And we'll get to see his first look on a wicket that is still very, very green. And from the left, he can provide an incredible option. Aman Patel joined by Nate Hayes, as always. Nate, the two openers, obviously Ronak Sharma and Mario Ramprasad. A lot of work for them to do.
Lots of work indeed. And they are always going to shoulder a big burden for this team, a big load. And as much as I love watching Adil Bhatti, I'm excited to see a new bowler here.
Conversation between captain and umpire. Slip in place for Rishiv. What kind of swing and movement can we expect from the left-hander? Plenty of movements. Wow. That is a strong start.
And we talk about, Aman, how deep this bowling attack is from Baltimore. Usually we're talking about the spin attack. When you go into that Super 8s, it seems like you could never have enough fast bowlers down there in Grand Prairie. We do, in fact, have the Super 8s in Grand Prairie. So it'll be good for Baltimore to get Joshi here some action.
A lot of pace bowling depth with Batra, with Dhawan, Bhatti, and now Joshi getting some time. Unfortunate way for runs to come on the board for Joshi, but you can see already that inward movement causing some problems for Ronak Sharma.
We haven't seen good contact yet on the first two balls. And if you're going to concede 2 runs, that's the way you want to do it as a fast bowler. You'll take that. You're getting great stuff right now.
Yeah, Rishiv Joshi, he is one of these young Canadians that are down, part of minor league cricket yet again, from Ontario. Fielder there at fine leg. He's represented Canada in 1 ODI and 7 T20s. He's got 5 T20I wickets to his name, but he hasn't been back into a T20I side since 2024. His last time was actually at Prairie View back in April. That was a warm-up series before the World Cup. And his last ODI game took place at Rotterdam against the USA back in August of 24. But since then, hasn't been featured in his national side. Oh, hits him in the helmet.
What a ball.
Was it the shoulder? I think that's what Dublin's pointing to. It's going to go all the way for 4. They want a dead ball, I think the Royals do. There's no shot offered, so it can be ruled a dead ball. Ruled as leg buys. It's come off the shoulder. And again, the Royals, I think, are asking for a dead ball. That's what Dublin's clamoring. He's saying he hasn't played a shot, and you have not offered a shot. It cannot be given as leg buys. It has to be a dead ball. We saw Yasser Mohammed fall victim to that in 2021 against Ireland. Make it 2022 in the ODI series against Oman, facing Bilal Khan. Dublin's still clamoring, and his teammates are saying it's okay, let it happen. And now Ramprasad's got to look at him as well.
Yeah, that was a brutal delivery. Got up on him in a hurry. They're still discussing this.
Tremendous swing.
Yeah, we see so many good Canadians here.
I just want to get back to that body blow. Here's your official ruling there. The no-shot offer dead ball rule refers to a situation where the ball becomes dead when a batter has no shot offered at a ball and the ball subsequently hits their body. The ball is then dead because runs cannot be scored and the batter cannot be dismissed by the fielding side. So it prevents batters from taking advantage, like running bys or being improperly dismissed in those situations. I'll try to get you the official law, but that's what Rishi Dublin's clamoring about. Watch Ram Prasad. There's no movement with the bat. He's getting out of the way, gets hit, and he's stating because there was no shot offered, that should have been 0 runs. Instead, it's 4, and close of the first, 7 for none.
So you saw Alvin having a talk there with Dewan. Dewan's still not happy that was 4 runs. Now, Alvin, very well known in the community for his knowledge of cricket, knowledge of the laws of cricket.
It's Batra who's opening the bowling. I like the opportunity for the youngster to get this chance. I just want to give you the official law here. This is the official leg by law. So this is Article 23.2.1. If a ball is delivered by the bowler first, strikes the person of the striker, run shall be scored only if the umpire is satisfied that the striker has either attempted to play the ball with the bat or try to avoid being hit by the ball. So I think that's what Alvin would be saying. He's avoided trying to be hit by the ball, and that's why we'll count it as runs. Taken! And Batra breaks through, delivers wicket number 1, and this man, Kunarjit Singh, has done nothing wrong today.
Great catch there. Wonderful delivery by Batra, striking early against Mario Rampersad. This will be a wicket that they absolutely wanted to get. Whew. I'll tell you, that slip position is not easy. The ball's coming at you pretty quick.
Great start for the Royals. It's 8 for 1. Promotion for Wesley Jackson in at number 3. We've heard Ronak Sharma talk about his team knows what they are. They're a team of development, trying to build and utilize young talent. Wesley Jackson, he's shown great signs this weekend, Nate.
Yes, and he'll be facing USA U19 veteran Aryan Batra immediately. Now this will be a player that he's probably admired. Batra just a few years older.
And from a similar area as well, up there in the Baltimore area, so would have been around each other through some youth tournaments.
Prince George's County.
Again, Batra is so impressive because he can bowl in so many different situations with great skill. You can see inward movement, and the first time we've seen him for the Royals this season open the bowling.
Yeah, I think it's great that he is. This opening duo looks very dangerous today.
And the scary part is these two would not be bowling in this situation in a normal matchup.
That's right. That just goes to show their depth.
And a new challenge for Wesley Jackson. Come out, face the music of the new ball. Sure to see the left arm seamer yet again. We'll test that front foot of his, no doubt about it.
Yeah, we saw that left arm seamer with some really good pace and bounce. As Mario did absolutely try to evade that and aided in the shoulder. Very brutal bounce.
Fort Lauderdale, are they just trying to play 20? Is it just trying to gain experience out there in the middle?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we speculate on that a lot. As you mentioned earlier, there's almost two divisions in this division. There's the top three teams, and there's the bottom three teams. The top three very much in the fight. The bottom three very much out of the fight. And Fort Lauderdale falls into the latter category. And very good delivery there from Batra. And that's going to wrap up the second over. Fort Lauderdale 8 with a loss of 1.
What a shot! Ronak Sharma says, all right, 238, I'm after you.
Yeah, Sharma, I don't think he's trying to play the full 20. I think he's trying to score. Look at that. You know, very safe because of obviously we're in the power play here. There is no slip in place. He would have felt very confident taking on that delivery.
Yeah, if you're Joshi, you got to continue to pitch it up. Let the ball swing. Sharma so equipped on the back foot. Loves it there. Can't bowl it there, and it will always get punished for 4.
Yeah, you see Sharma just rock back here. As you mentioned, he's very strong on the back foot. Just leans back, giving himself just enough space. Cuts that over everybody. Good start here for Sharma. 12 from 6. See Mohsen giving Joshi a little bit of a talk.
Yeah, but again, we'll just be saying, go back to pitching it up. Try to get the swing on this green surface. Shout, big shout, given. Doesn't like it, Ronak Sharma, but I think it's very straight. My question was height.
Oh man, he certainly rips that ball, doesn't he, Joshi? This is bad news for Fort Lauderdale. I think that's pretty good, Oman. I think that's a good call.
It looks very, very straight. The question was how high was it, but the only decision that matters is the umpires. It's 16 for 2. Captain Ronak Sharma was unhappy with the decision and has continued to remain frustrated as he walks off and the new man trots in. Let's just have a second look at this, Nate. I reckon this might be a touch high. It's hit him well above the knee roll, really onto the thigh pad, so it would be really on the M of the stumps there, on the MLC.
Yeah, the question is, to me, it was quick. It was a quick delivery. We have seen the ball climb from Joshi. How much more would it have climbed? Yeah, that's tough.
Again, I think the line, I think where it's hit him, where it's pitched, everything there would light up red. For me, I think it might have just lifted over. Again, very tough to tell. The umpires got the best view. We are going to be slightly obscured, but the call that matters is the umpires. But this is where Joshi needs to be. This is where he'll be very successful. Straight away, took it off that back of a length and got a wicket.
Yeah, I think you're right. I like this fuller length from him. Obviously, he's got good pace, so the short stuff can be very, very effective. We saw that when he got the shoulder of Mario Rampersad, but he's nice and quick through it. He gets good bounce at any length.
Satvik Patibandla and Wesley Jackson showed great signs, but this will be a very different challenge. Ball swinging with decent pace on it as well.
Amon, that one pitched relatively in the same area as the LBW, and you saw it go over the stumps by a good 4 or 5 inches. I might be wrong, but it looked like a very similar delivery.
Just enough bat on it from Patibandla. Terrific in-swinging Yorker to close over 3, 16 for 2. So, Nate, you brought up an interesting point. You wanted to compare those two deliveries. We might not have Hawkeye, but we've got Bobber's Eye, and he's able to do some great stuff with that. Here's your LBW shout. Okay. You saw where that pitched. Very similar. Very similar areas that.
Yep, we don't have Hawkeye, we got Bobber.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Bobber, he's a man who makes everything happen. He currently is switching, directing, and running replay.
I just got so excited about the fact that we could just do that just now. That makes me so happy.
The magic of Morrisville. It's not just in the cricket. Excellently bowled from Aryan Batra. This is a fun bowling partnership to watch because it's two under 25 bowling. The 24-year-old from Canada and then the 20-year-old from the US of A.
And Batra, he looks good. Every time I see him bowl, I'm impressed. Ooh, what a ball there.
Yeah, just bat on it to save him, but absolutely always impressive is Aryan Batra. And again, it's because we mentioned versatility for Kunarjit Singh. This is also great versatility. Movement, seam up, continuing to follow him. Batra, typically when he gets the ball, has to go cutters and pace off and dippers. But he's just been able to control everything so wonderfully.
Look at this one again. I wanted to see this again. You see how that angles back in. That is shades of Bart King right there, the angler.
And that is shades of pure class from Satvik Patibandla.
Yeah, that is a great shot by Patibandla. You see Batra kind of leaning over to his left as he delivers the ball. This one stayed wider, and it was placed wider.
Yeah, we've talked about Batra's action, right? And where does that stem from? It's the fact that he doesn't get side on, which is not a problem, but it's his left leg. It goes outside of his frame, so his frame starts to follow, and that's what allows him to angle it back in. Right there is a perfect example.
He's so effective when he is angling it back in. My question would be, when he's not angling it back in, he creates an angle that's so far over his head that it almost looks a little bit too easy to read straight.
Well, again, that's where your development comes in. I think you could have heard similar things we said about Jasprit Bumrah, if you will. I know it's not a complete comparison, but very similar in the fact that that left leg leads the body away and the right arm comes over the top of the head. And so then you think, okay, you master the one that comes back in and develop the one that moves away, and how you become ever so dangerous. Close of 4, 23 for 2.
And we've got Mohsen in now.
Yeah, the first introduction of spin. We've talked about the depth of their spinners. It's the two twin leggies, and then your off-spinning Sharad Lumba. Shot. What a shot from the young man.
We saw him the other day. He seemed to ease his way in and get very comfortable as the innings went along. Today he's starting off after the first five balls. He's starting to already look very comfortable. Mohsen giving up a 4. That's very rare.
And this is where Patti Bandla has made real waves in the last couple of weeks. I think he's shown a great ability to be confident in his stroke play, find a boundary, find singles, not collect dot balls. Looks like a real talent for the future.
We're seeing him bowl from an end that we often see a lot of bowl from. We've seen Mohsen a little bit more from the other end.
Great running. These two have the cachet and the rapport of batting together, so they'll be able to do more and more of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Mohsen always quick through his overs.
And if you can get 6 runs and over off Mohammad Mohsen, you're in a phenomenal position.
And you've already got 7 right now off of 4 balls. This is a great spot. There's still 2 balls to go. The key here against Mohsen, you don't want dot balls.
Straight through. A little noise, and says no, the umpire. It sounded like there were 2 on the way through, but both Jackson and the umpire unconvinced.
I think it might have hit him in the hip. I think that's the sound that we heard. It didn't look like his bat was there.
Yeah, bat was nowhere near the googly. He didn't pick it. Great decision. Oh, very risky. Could be run out. Oh, direct hit had to be. Had to be. Very eventful final 2 balls. Close of 5, 30 for 2.
Let's take a look at that last one I'm on. I don't think Wesley Jackson needed to do this. Oh, this is the one that beat him. This is the one that went off the hip there. On the very next ball, he tries to come across and play it behind the fine, but he almost plays it onto his own stumps. There's a full toss there. Padabandla unable to put that one away. Full tosses aren't automatic. A lot of people think that they are, but the ball dipping at that length is not easy to handle.
Yeah, one of my favorite quotes actually comes from our good buddy Dane Pete, who just got picked up in the SA20 auction for a very nice price point. He says, the most underrated delivery in cricket is the low full toss, especially in T20 cricket. He feels like he can take wickets with that because that little dip, as you mentioned. But how cool is that SA20 draft? Shubham Ranjane picked up in it.
I love it. I love it. Ranjani, our friend Dane Pete, always involved there. His team won last season. They won the championship. He gave me a ring that night.
Did he want to tell you that he got himself a ring? Is that what he wanted to say?
Well, he gave me a call. It was really cool. It was really cool. They had a great night, of course, after celebrating, and he called me what was the next morning there and what was the middle of the night here. Gave me a ring just to see how I was doing. I was like, man, what a fella.
A great guy there, and would have been the first player to play as a domestic in both MLC and in the SA20.
And that one's going to run. Good stop. Good effort there towards the boundary.
Yeah, real tremendous there. Good work. Also, now Ranjane would be, and correct me if I'm wrong, Nate, the first American international player in the SA20.
Yes, the first qualifying domestic American that currently qualifies as a domestic American in the SAT20. Yeah, I think that's really cool. It's nice to see Ranjani. That's a quick throw there. Padabandla got there quickly enough.
And it just shows what minor league can do to major league and what major league can do for other opportunities around the world. Remember, I think Shubham Ranjane, when he first came here to the States, wasn't a lock on anyone's mind to be a real major league star. I'm not really sure he was a lock on many people's minds to even get drafted. But then in 2022, in the minor league finals, he had an unbelievable final, showed his clutch ability, and then had another unbelievable performance in the combine and was the real MVP and the real clutch performer there. Carved out a niche, got drafted by Seattle, let go by Seattle, and then 1 year in Texas, became an absolute star, and now on the tips of everyone's tongues.
This one goes up, and it's easily caught by Jaskar Malhotra. Padabandla showing some promise, but his day comes to an end. 14 from 15 balls, in Fort Lauderdale with their third wicket of the power play when they absolutely needed the opposite. And that will be the end of the power play. Fort Lauderdale 35 for 3.
Yeah, just got undone by the little bit of extra bounce here from Batra. Also that inward movement back. And Jaskar Malhotra says thank you very much. The Baltimore Royals, they pick up that third wicket like you mentioned, 35 for 3.
I see Mohsin with the ball again. Now you were talking about Shubham Ranjani, one of the great stories, one of the many great stories here in the USA. I'll tell you who did think that he was MLC, and that was, I remember having a conversation with Seattle Thunderbolts leadership before they even made it to the finals that season, 2022, and they were telling me, watch this Shubham Ranjani guy. He is class. He's going to be a major leaguer. They were raving about him being one of the stars of the league, and so I started paying attention to him. And of course, then the Seattle Major League team ends up drafting him, and they had some connections there with that Thunderbolt squad. The surprise to me, Aman, the biggest surprise of all those wonderful things that you said about his journey, the only surprising part to me, knowing him, is that Seattle let him go.
Yeah, I don't think many people really understood it. There was a case to be made that he was going to be underutilized, but when you looked at the rehaul that the Orcas made, you thought, okay, he would make sense in that rehaul. If you're going to get rid of Shehan Jaisaria and Noman Anwar, now there's a spot in the top 4 or 5 for him to come and bat. And you thought that would be perfect for him to be in that situation. And they elected to move in a different direction, tried a couple of new pieces, and the Super Kings were more than happy to go and select him. He was the number 1 all-rounder on their board.
And Mane is going to look at the first one, size it up. Mohsen went for 7 in his first over. 3 balls into his second. And Mane is off the strike. He's off the mark. And Jackson on.
You got to give a lot of credit for Texas. I know we're talking a lot about Major League, but the Texas Super Kings have done a tremendous job in their domestic product. Obviously, Mohamed Mohsen, Shubham Ranjane, 2 of the names that we've already mentioned.
Nice sweep shot there.
But also think about the investment they made into Saiteji Mukamala. I think they were fortunate enough to pick him up in the last pick of that youth round, which is unbelievable to me that he ended up there for him to take. But there were so many great options. Calvin Savage, which they picked up as well.
Oh, and that's LBW. Mane will go sit down. Mohsen gets his first wicket of the day.
Well, when you're talking about the Texas Super Kings, you got to think about Mohamed Mohsen. Full, straight, googly, didn't pick it, and nice and simple. Mohamed Mohsen gets his first wicket to close over 7. It's 38 for 4.
And I'm on. There's Mohsen right there. You're talking about the Texas Super Kings. That's his squad. He's their leading all-time domestic wicket taker for the Texas Super Kings after 3 seasons of Major League Cricket. And they got him for a bargain.
Oh, no question. Didn't go in the regular draft. There was only 1 leggy that went, or 2 leggies that went in the regular draft. One was his teammate now, Sarbjit Singh Ladda, and then the other was Zia Shahzad, taken by the Texas Super Kings. And Super Kings, they doubled up. They said, this guy was at the Combine, performed well, got a little bit of an injury, but let's just pick him up. And then in that camp, he performed unbelievably well. They played him in the opening day 11, and in that game, took 4 wickets, and that was all she wrote. And Mohamed Mohsen's now a staple for that Super Kings franchise.
Yeah, one of the many Texas Super Kings domestics to earn Player of the Match awards in Major League Cricket. They've had several of those. Yeah, the domestic stable that they have, very, very impressive. Wesley gives himself some room.
Danush Apte now with the ball, a young fast bowler for the Baltimore Royals, so good opportunity for him to get in. But you mentioned the domestics. We haven't mentioned the name of Josh Tromp, who was a first-round selection for them. You keep going down the list. And Milind Kumar, another great individual that they've picked up. Smit Patel, they picked up for the first time last year, opened the batting for him.
Yeah, and all of these youngsters in the league they'll they're going to be wanting to eventually earn their way into the Major League Draft via the U23 round, or even in the proper round. We've seen Ali Sheikh
Twice
now
on two separate occasions.
go ahead of the U23 round. Now, unfortunately, we didn't see him in a game this last season, which really surprised me.
And again, when you talk about the Orcas and the rehaul they played Ali Sheikh in 24, and then they kept him. So you think he's going to be a mainstay. That'll be a wide. Instead, what has ended up happening, they kept Harmeet Singh. Obviously, they're going to keep that number 1 pick in the history of Major League Cricket. But then they draft Sudhit Nayak. And you sit there and think, that's 3 left-arm spinners. Who's going to miss out? And Ali Sheikh was the one who ended up drawing the short stick.
Yeah, and it really didn't make any sense to me at all. Seattle, especially once they were pretty much eliminated from playoff consideration. They really didn't have much of a chance. The only games they won were because of the heroics of one batter. And so you would have thought it would have been a great chance to get the youngster some time, some experience. Like, for example, here, look at the Fort Lauderdale Lions. Arnab Mishra in the middle right now for Fort Lauderdale batting for them.
Or even Tanush Apte for the Baltimore Royals with the ball in hand. Wasn't going to get into a game on a normal basis, but again, given the situation, they elected to use him.
Exactly. And, we'll see these guys, youngsters, get some experience. Who knows, maybe one day we'll be calling their names on our Major League coverage.
Another one right there, Aryan Batra getting a chance to open the bowling. And so, yeah, I think it's been really interesting to watch Major League Cricket and the way it's unfolded, and the overhauls that have been made by some teams that feel like they have the correct combinations. Maybe the lack of overhauls. You've seen the Knight Riders, they've kept everybody really. Only added Karthik Pulli last season. Be very curious to see what their off-season looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, there's so many ways the league could go, and in their partnership with minor league cricket, there's so many ways that it can develop. And, we're used to this Major League Baseball, minor league baseball system here in the USA, where it's a proper farm system, where the major league team basically owns the rights to the players, and the minor league teams facilitate the players' development, and they're closely associated and affiliated. Wesley Jackson having a difficult time today getting off strike, but he does it right there. He keeps strike for the next over, and after 8, Fort Lauderdale are 41 with a loss of 4.
So, Nate, we have a lot of folks tuning in, and Ayush Batra has just sent me a message. He says, Gunwarjeet is a U.S. citizen, and he's eligible for U.S. selection. So, how does that throw a wrinkle in the mix?
Well, I mean, that's a really fun wrinkle, isn't it? We just said that as soon as he becomes eligible, he's got to be considered in the squad because of his versatility, his skill, his fielding ability, his attitude, his effort. All of these things make him, in my mind, somebody that's going to be at the tip of my tongue.
Here you have Sarbjeet Ludda, who's at the tips of everybody's tongue when talking about wickets. He's got 97 of them to his name. And he's eyeing an 100th on the weekend.
Oh, that one turns right past the bat there.
I tell you what, he's got 23 more deliveries, and if they all turn like that, he's going to get well past 100.
Yeah, that is some turn. Sometimes, we say sometimes the ball turns a little too much. There's the reverse sweep, and it's going to roll away for 4 as you hear the crowd celebrating the boundary here for the young Wesley Jackson.
He's audacious, and this is an ostentatious stroke. Full of confidence from Wesley Jackson. Plays it often, prefers playing it, and again, is not very shy about people knowing that this shot is coming out of his hands.
4 more runs for PG County.
You just love getting to say PG County, don't you?
I do. I mean, you know, everybody likes where they're from, you know. Aman, you like Church Street.
Well, who doesn't like Church Street, Nate?
Well, that's true. I also like where you're from, Aman.
There we go. Fun fact, Nate wasn't born actually out in this neck of the woods. Was born more eastern of this. Was born in North Carolina. Was born in Greenville, North Carolina. So home of the East Carolina Pirates.
Really?
Out there. Yeah, born there. Spent the first 4 years of my life there.
Well, I wasn't technically born in Prince George's County.
Okay.
I was born in Montgomery County, right next to Prince George's County.
There you go. Like right next to what's the distance? Like, what's the time?
Oh, like literally, like it's the very neighboring county.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, another one. That is turning the ball well today. And in fact, let me correct you from before, Aman. A rare time I'm going to correct you.
Oh, is it not 97?
It is 98.
It's 90. He took one that I forgot about, so he's 2 away.
2 away, and he's got 3.2 overs to do it in. Oh, there's going to be an appeal, but I don't think Mishra's foot ever left.
It's just Jaskar Malhotra being Jaskar Malhotra. Very animated. Loves to just offer an appeal, doesn't he?
Well, I think you have a little bit of gasoline for the fire too there with Kunwarjeet next to him in his enthusiasm.
Yeah, great call, Nate. Foot never left. And Malhotra, he shows off too. He says, no, it's okay.
Oh my gosh, it's turning miles right now. It is turning miles. He's pitching that on the stumps, and it's turning all the way to fifth stump there. What an over from Lada. He is threatening. Fort Lauderdale 47 with a loss of 4, chasing a monumental target. 191 to go still to reach it.
Close at 9, 47 for 4.
Up day. Jackson gives himself some space. He likes to free up his hands. Sometimes pulling himself too far away from the ball.
What you enjoy to see from Wesley Jackson is he hasn't shut down or just gone into a shell, think I'm just going to play 20 overs. He's really looking to just play his natural game. It's not to hit sixes. It's not to do anything incredibly rash, but play the shots when they're offered to him.
And there's one well struck. Just one. And as you said, play what's offered to you. That's going to be the mandate right now for this young Fort Lauderdale team.
And right now what you're seeing, all 3 parties involved on every ball, it's that under 23 options, right, that you're looking at for Major League Cricket in the future, and how valuable to have the under 23s suddenly become in Major League Cricket. Remember the opening year, very few got into a game, if they got into a game at all. And now, Sanjay Krishnamurti, regular member of the 11. Saimo Kamala, regular member of the 11. Josh Tromp has made his way into 11s. Matthew Tromp was in 11s. Rushi Lugarkar was in 11s. Ayan Desai's played in Major League Cricket. Ali Shaikhdin played this year, but played last year. There's so many opportunities for young under 23s to get experience and be valuable in these Major League setups.
As there should be.
Yasser Mohammed got a game this past season at the Oakland Coliseum. Just the one, but he's getting into the team.
That's right. Yasser getting into the team there. And it's only a matter of time, I think, before Adam Khan, speaking of leggies that are young, before Adam Khan makes his way into that Texas Super Kings squad. Now they have leggies galore out there.
And when you look at them, they have the 2 leggies, right? And then you also consider the fact that they've got 3 under 23s at their disposal.
Yeah, that's where the riches are, I think. That's where you turn over the stone and you're going to find some jewels.
And what I would love to see maybe incorporated in Major League in the next couple of seasons are, with this off-season period, make trades available. So
100%.
now, okay, I'm a team that needs a leg spinner, and I see Adam Kahn is there. He's not getting much playing time. I want him. Let me try to manufacture something with Texas. I think that could throw a whole new element that could really elevate Major League in terms of the cricket leagues around the world.
When that one's skittered away a little bit from Jaskarin, but close enough to keep the batters from running. And that's the end of 10 overs. Fort Lauderdale really struggling, 49 for 4, but we're going to see a lot more of these youngsters batting when we return for the second half of this innings. Lada.
Rice Smile. He's operating with 2 slips now, so looking to be very, very aggressive. And again, a huge net run rate boost looming for the team that Nate deems colored in banana pudding.
Yes. This one's up in the air. Fielders are giving chase. They're getting under it. Oh!
Stanush Apte, youngster, into the team, got a chance to make this grab. He tracked it all the way down, and I think he was just unsure of what hand to go with. Had it, juggled it, and down it went. And Ludda's 99th wicket goes a-begging.
I think there was a moment of hesitation from the fielders, unsure of where the other fielder was. Always looking out for a collision. This is why talking is so important in the field when everyone's looking up in the air.
50 on the board for the Lions.
Oh, that one ping-pongs a little bit.
Yeah, picking those googlies are never easy out of the hand of Ludda. Got so many variations, gives you so much time to think under it, and for young cricketers it becomes so difficult, that time in the air.
Oh! Jackson skips down the wicket. The ball is turning so much. He is out of his crease. And that is the 5th wicket. And Jackson's day ends. He never really got where he needed to be.
We talked about that time in the air. Look how long this stays in the air. Up, up, and he just doesn't even know he's taking that step. And he still has to wait. Didn't get anywhere near it. And then once it got to the gloves of Malhotra, it was curtains for Jackson. Showed some impressive shots, but walks back for just 13. It's 50 for 5. Leg slip now. Wait. Maybe Stephen Taylor not being the captain of the Royals, the best thing. Maybe the worst thing. I don't know, because I feel like there'd be a silly point and a short leg to incorporate.
If we're seeing 2 slips right now in a Stephen Taylor team, we might see the whole cordon. Oh my goodness, he's using that flight, Aman. That ball is peaking over the standing height of the batters.
What I love from London there is he's had a half appeal, and he started to celeb appeal. He started to celebrate and not look back at the umpire, even when he was unsure about even starting to appeal.
Well, he's on 99. Oh, a little bit of luck there. Nehal.
The comeback for 2 to close over 11. 52 for 5. Great bowling from Opte. He's really found a length, and he's getting it to nip from that length. There's some real positive signs for this young man.
Yeah, absolutely. Opte's looking terrific. Only 6 conceded in his 3rd over already. Mishra is going to want to get off to a good start here. Only 3 from 11 so far. Oh, right back at him. That's tricky. That's a tricky one, Oman. This is where it's so important to be in a good catching position in your follow-through, and that's such a hard thing to do for a fast bowler.
And the reason it's so difficult is for those who haven't run in to throw, or you just go to the backyard, don't even have to run into bowl. Run into just throw and feel your body start to pull in different directions. Feel your head start to move, and then try to whip it back up, and that ball comes at you. While it might not feel fast, everything is pulling you in one direction, and you've got to react, maybe reach behind you, or just settle in a position to take a catch. It's very difficult. I've had a couple of opportunities, haven't always converted.
This one's slashed. Just going to be one, but yeah, Apte, as you mentioned, every bowler's a little bit different. Some come side on, some come very square, and some, their head is looking straight down at the ground when they deliver the ball. One in particular, Ritvik Apati from Morrisville Raptors, who we'll probably see later on.
Even Rusha Lagarka gets a bit of a whip sometimes down. He's corrected that over the years.
This one's up in the air, but it's straight, and it's going to go for 4 runs.
Excellent shot from Mishra. Just a touch too full from Apte. And Mishra, just a little chip. Really good use of the feet. And again, these are positive signs for any young cricketer on our team that is a developmental organization. That's what the bottom 3 in the Southern Division are at the moment.
Yeah, so you're 5 down now. You've got 8 overs to go. This one's pulled well to deep cow corner, and it's going to skip over for 6. It's actually going to go all the way for 6.
Excellent. Just kind of anticipated it to be a touch shorter. Saw the width and latched on. And you want to see some fights from your youngsters. And for the Fort Lauderdale Lions, they've seen a lot of promising signs from a couple of different youngsters now, and Mishra's joined the list.
Yes, and for Baltimore, though they're well ahead, you saw Mohamed Mohsen, a little bit of a conference there with Apte. That is just the kind of guy Mohamed Mohsen is. He's very nourishing, as you said yesterday. And Mishra's going to follow his 6 with a single down to third. Wisely so, he keeps strike. And that's the end of 12 overs. Fort Lauderdale, 65 for 5. Here comes Lada searching for that 100th career minor league wicket. My goodness, what a career he's had here in minor league. And it's swept away. Good job at the boundary there.
I think everyone was looking to see if that was going to carry. And that's everyone knows that Ludda's on the verge of something historic. He would be the first person to do it. He'll be joined very quickly by Fani Samhadri. You would imagine before this season comes to a close, but getting there first, you remember Neil Armstrong's name, don't you?
Absolutely.
Second man on the moon, Nate? Who was it?
No idea.
It was Buzz Aldrin.
Flighted up there. Lada is definitely searching for. He's always going after the wicket.
he's not looking to bowl quick or be economical. He ends up being economical because he's being aggressive, because he's throwing the ball straight up into the air. He's daring you, and he outfoxes you so often. At this level, he is such a killer.
Especially at this venue. But when it gets through, it gets through everything. We thought that might be it right there.
How has that missed off stump? Ludda thought it hit batter's pads. No, it's come off Malhotra's gloves. But how is that missed?
Just
that
over.
is ridiculously close.
What a ball. What a googly there. Tremendous stuff from Lada.
Play for 2 more googlies, Mishra. He is eyeing in.
He's got 2 more balls in this over to do it. And there's the sweep. It's not going to carry. Every single time he attacks the stumps like that, and we see the batter getting ready to go into that sweep shot. You get a lump in your throat.
And again, you can just feel the anticipation all around the ground. It's not an unknown fact. The Royals' Instagram posts and their page has been very active about Ludda as he continues to chart this course. So it would have been a topic of conversation coming into the day. We said that we should expect it by the end of the weekend. Well, he's only got 1 more over to deliver 1 more wicket to do it. Close at 13, 69 for 5.
Mosen gets that one through Nahal.
And he's so different from Ludda. Again, we've talked about Ludda throwing it up. You're not getting that from Mosen. He's quicker through the air, and even a slower one is nowhere near as slow. That's the example of a slower Mohamed Mosen delivery that dips on you quick, and it rips off the pitch.
Yeah, with the slower ones from Lada, you're looking up at the ball for a while as the batter. It gets over your eye line, which adds some difficulty for a lot of batters. Now you're talking about dot balls compiling in an over against Mohamed Mosen. He's going to have multiple chances against the same batter, and this doesn't usually go well.
I love to see the friendships and the relationships on this team. When that previous ball was fielded by Ludda and he got up in a position to throw, Ludda's he's not Gunarjit Singh in the field, let's just put it that way. And so Gunarjit Singh, stationed at slip, just started to mock Ludda as well with the throwing motion. Started to put his hands up like Ludda was throwing. Always having fun, the Royals.
Yeah, that one was flighted pretty well from Mosen. I talked to Mosen yesterday after the game, and I said, you two, you and Lada, it's got to be nightmare fuel for the competition to face 8 straight overs of you two. And he's taking pride in this. He likes bowling alongside Lada. I praised him to me. And I said, when are we going to get an argument between the two of you about who's bowling from what end? And he said, I don't ever care what end I bowl from.
He's just always taking wickets. That'll close up over 14. 72 for 5.
And I assure you, Oman is still with us. Swallowed down the wrong pipe, I think. Some water there.
The problem was, Nate, I didn't have anything to drink.
It's the dryness.
Just went away.
There you go. Well, Mukhtar Ahmed now with the ball. I said 8 straight overs of spin. Yeah, we throw Mukhtar Ahmed into the equation.
You can make it 12. And then you can say, yeah, we can go Sharad Lumba, so we can go 16 overs of spin.
Imagine if this team had Aaron Jones in the squad too.
I'm sure he'd be getting a couple of overs, a couple of chances to roll the arm. So many options. And again, that pace bowling department, Rishi Dhawan hasn't bowled today.
Yeah, that's impressive. I mean, look, maybe he needs to rest after scoring 80 runs in the first innings. He might be happy to take a break.
It'd be well deserved.
Yeah, he's served 2 roles already today as the batter and the team lawyer in his discussion there with Alvin over the cricket laws. That one's short.
Alvin, as always, was right. Again, we read that law. It was about the dead ball, and the part that everyone knows, or at least pay attention to, is you have to offer a shot, but you also can be trying to get out of the way. If the umpire deems you doing either, well, then you're in position to take runs or score runs off the ball.
That's right, and knowing is half the battle. This one shipped over safely. It's going to go for 2. And that was just a little trot from Kunwarjeet. Somebody check on Kunwarjeet Singh. He didn't run full speed to that ball. Somebody give him a look. Maybe we need... That is the most lackadaisical I've ever seen him.
Again, this Royals team is so impressive. Not playing Adil Bhatti today.
Yeah.
No Rishi Dhawan with the ball. And even with the big score on the board, they have run circles around Fort Lauderdale just in this innings alone.
Yes, they've been tremendous in both innings on both sides of the ball. And that one slashed away. It's going to be a race for it. And Lada knocks it over the rope. It's 4 runs. In hot pursuit, Lada out there. Don't hurt yourself before your last over, Lada.
Just always giving effort. And that's what you want to see from the Royals team. And look at Ludda. Like you said, in hot pursuit. He's not a spring chicken, but always is going to give you everything he has. And Rishi Ramesh will give a wry smile as well. Close of 15, 82 for 5. Mohsen will finish here. Still operating with the slip. Expect the googlies now. He's changed the angle. Last over was around. Now he's over. And Neho Katagdan, his day is over.
That one got through real quick from Mohsen. We've seen the range of his ability to deliver different pace, different turn, and that one got through very quickly, I think, on Nehal.
I think he anticipated the googly, and it hit him right on middle stump. It was the leg spinner. It's the one that just kept coming back to him, wasn't ready for it, and his day comes to an end. Scores 12, it's 83 for 6. Vanjadi, one left-hander replaces another. And the task is ever so difficult. Seeing off 20 overs is not going to be easy, and I think that is Mohsen's way of just softening up Vanjadi. All hands, no legs, and that's why he's changed the angle. Gone. Easy as you like. Second ball, Mohsen's third wicket.
And Mohsen, all smiles. Hard to tell what just happened with Mohsen smiling, because he's so good at that. Look at this delivery. Just tempts the batter out of his crease, and the ball turns beyond his bat. The ball is really ripping.
Swung out of his shoes and now has to go to the dugout without affecting the scores. 83 for 7. Well, Nate, I shared that story yesterday of Usman Khawaja about he was on 99 on Boxing Day at the MCG, or the SCG rather, and Pat Cummins was batting with 2 overs to go before tea. And with a ball to go in the second to last over, Cummins took a single, and the whole crowd booed Pat Cummins. And then, with 3 balls, Pat Cummins blocked it away. Finally got Usman Khawaja on strike, and Usman Khawaja was sitting there. He says he was thinking, Patty, you idiot. Right now, that might be Sarbjit Ludda. He's on 99, and he's seeing his chances of getting to a century go up in smoke and have to wait till next weekend. He doesn't want to go back home on 99. And, of course, those are career wickets we're referring to.
Career wickets 99. You can be stranded there for a while when it comes to wickets. But, fortunately in cricket, there's no such thing as a triple play, so you can't lose all 3 wickets on one ball.
I would love to start a double play in cricket. I think a catch run out would be incredible.
I don't think we'll ever see that, especially now with the fact that it doesn't matter if you cross anymore.
Mm-hmm. And Jasker Malhotra having fun as Mohammad Mohsen's day comes to a close. 3 for 16 in his 4 overs. It's 84 for 7. Two slips, and everyone sensing a moment. The little spark of 1 wicket has led to Sarbjit Ludda and 100 more to follow. What a moment. Kiss the turf. This man has done something no one ever has done in minor league cricket.
Sensational. Sarbjit Ludda, always someone to watch here at Church Street Park, always someone to watch in minor league cricket. 100 wickets on his career. And everybody's aware of the moment.
Celebrations from the entire team. And of course, he did it in one way. The googly, the patented Sarbjit Ludda googly. Effect off stump. And there were questions, does Ludda know that he was close to 100? You bet he does. A smile for the camera, and that is a gold smile if we've ever seen one.
My goodness, he is box office. How many times has Sarjeet Lada given us goosebumps here at Church Street Park? This is one of those very times. He is just absolutely sensational. Perfect for these conditions here in Morrisville, North Carolina. Tailor-made. And boy, is it fun to be on call for this.
The only question is how fast can he get to 200 now? But he'll relish this moment, and he's got a chance to get to 102. 2 wickets left as Atish Gawand strides out to the middle. And yeah, I don't expect anything other than the googlies from Ludda. But how great is Sarjeet Ludda, Nate? I don't think there's enough words to describe it.
No, I'm glad that I'm here, and you are absolutely correct. He knew exactly how many wickets he had. Before the season even started, before they played their first game, I told him how many wickets he had, and he knew exactly what I was talking about. I said, are you going to take the lead this season? Are you going to solidify the lead? We're always talking about him and Fani Simhadre neck and neck.
And he's created a sizable lead. He's already got 15 wickets on the season alone, Nate. It's uncanny, his wicket-taking ability.
This is the 5th season of minor league cricket. He's at 100 runs. Even before the end of this season, that's an average of 20 wickets per season.
Well done at first slip. Shout out Lumba.
That ball is turning so much right now. My goodness gracious.
Everyone in the field is just antsy. They want to give Ludda another. 2 for 12 are his figures with 2 balls to go. Still a chance for the game to end in this 17th. Starts to googly on the wrong side, but he's got 2 more. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen.
Get to see 2 more balls from Lada. That's a good thing when you see a wide from Lada. Is hey, that's not so bad. We get to watch him bowl another ball.
As a batter, you don't love it.
So the batter, you don't love it at all.
Another one. It's wickets or wides now, Ludda. Come on, let's see it.
Wickets or wides.
That's what he's clamoring for, is the googly. He was attacking the stumps on every ball here. Oh, here's leg slip. Here's Mohammad Mohsin. There we go. So we got 2 traditionals and a leg slip. First, second leg. Very close. And a misfield. A misfield. Of course it's a misfield. They should get back for 2. And they will just settle for it. This Royals team's box office, Nate.
Absolutely. Phenomenal team to watch. See Gawand. Seems like this over won't ever end for him. He ran the 2, but that puts him right back on strike for the final ball of Lada's spell today.
Shot. Atish Gawand says, finally, not the googly. I'll take advantage. 4 runs to close Sarjeet Ludda's day. 20 for 2. It's 92 for 8.
What a job from Lada today. And throughout his minor league career, Aman, so many memorable moments from him here at Church Street Park. We've seen some of his very best games in minor league cricket. In fact, his very best games in minor league cricket we've seen here. This Baltimore team loves watching, or loves playing here. And you can see his celebration. You know, I love talking about his Mario jump. Well, he's got the current high score for wickets in minor league cricket, to keep the video game analogy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous what he does, and the moments he's delivered. You talk about the Pfeiffer that he had here that had a hat trick, a team hat trick, and then was it 5 wickets and 6 balls?
Ridiculous. And there was a run out, at least one run out in the mix there too. And we're gonna have to that over is gonna go down in history, or that spell of his go down as one of the most exciting spells. And Joshi with the ball here, getting his 3rd over today.
Oh, nearly. There was bat. There was bat on it, I think. Maybe not. Wait for the signal. I know it was wide.
So close to the bat there. Mishra now, 23 from 25.
Joshi's been really exceptional, and it just begs the question, could you start to put him in the lineup more and more often?
I don't see why not. I don't see why you couldn't, except for maybe the fact that they're already very deep. But my goodness, I think they just have so many. Here's Jaskaran giving us a thumbs up. Probably telling us great job on the call.
That's actually exactly what he said.
Oh.
That time stopped by Malhotra. He's had a busy work behind the stumps. Again, always active, and again, he's taking his keeping very seriously. Remember, we didn't keep quite a lot in minor league cricket prior to Major League, and then drafted into the Knight Riders organization. Actually had a decent Major League that first year, but was playing as a keeper. And since that moment, he has been keeping in minor league cricket.
Yeah, I think he realizes that that's a ticket. That's a way to get in. By him keeping, he's not keeping himself out. That's for certain. It's given everyone another look at one of his skills.
Do you think there's a way back to Major League Cricket for Jaskaran Malhotra?
Oh, absolutely. I absolutely do think so. I think you get to that Super 8. That's the key.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important in minor league right now for the veterans, the older veterans in their mid-30s or so, to make it into the Super 8, to be on a team that's going to make it into the Super 8. I think they all understand how important that is, because now you're judged against the very, very best in the country, and that's where the Major League scouts are going to pay attention to you. This is why I think we're seeing the emergence of some of these super teams across minor league cricket, because the players are very aware of the importance of making it that far.
I think you look at this past draft, and you think about the new players brought into the league that have played in minor league cricket. What were the big names? Gunwarjit Singh, Sharad Lumba. Where did they really make big performances? Yes, at Church Street Park with Gunwarjit, but also played really nicely down at the Super 8. So with Sharad Lumba.
Yeah, in fact, I was surprised not to see Saad Ali taken, just because of how well he did in that Super 8.
Probably why Tejinder Singh got another look, because of how well he did in that Super 8.
My goodness, was Tejinder Singh very,
Hamad
very good.
Azam, another great example.
Yeah, Hamad Azam, very, very good. Had a couple of good appearances this season.
He's had a couple match-winning performances. That's what he always does. And again, I wouldn't be surprised that if these playoffs bring about someone else whose name gets thrown around. I know Shubham Ranjane had been in the league before, but I think a big credit as to why he got drafted again was his Super 8 performances. Big 50s, took some big wickets, bowled brilliantly.
Yeah, I think so. I'm a little bit surprised last season, a couple of the surprises that didn't get taken to be, I mentioned Saad Ali, Akarsh Gomal. We were expecting that he might be taken. Mishra trying to make the best of his innings here.
Yeah, so I think you're absolutely right. Without that combine, right, that Champions Open that we saw in 23, the Super 8s have been treated as a combine in the last couple of years now by Major League rosters.
I'd love to see kind of a second Super 8s in the springtime. You know, we usually get the Major League draft in March, which is kind of a little too early to do a lot of that, but there's always the supplemental pick.
And with Major League being announced as early as it has, and to that June time, it begs the question, when does minor league come into the fold, and do you try to position it around Major League and let Major League bisect it? Close of 18, we'll continue with that when we come back. 99 for 8. Aryan Batra to continue and finish out the innings. So Nate, to that point, when would you like to see minor league this next year?
Well, it's such a luxury to have this major league window determined so early. We know we have the World Cup coming. You know, the IPL is going to be right after that probably, and then you're going to have MLC. So I think that I'd love to see like a little bit of a camp ahead of the World Cup.
Cry of catch. And dropped. Gunwarjeet Singh doesn't put down many, but this time it's gone straight to the ground.
I think it's so important here at Church Street Park at the boundaries to be under that ball early and not be moving your feet a whole lot. There is a slope here, and it is difficult going back down a slope, even though it's just a slight slope. It is difficult to keep your eyes steady, to keep everything set to catch the ball. I think you have to be a little more still earlier. But back to the conversation. Ooh, that might have been a run out if you hit direct. But back to the conversation, Aman. I'd love to see a little camp, maybe like a whole nother Super 8 or a top 6 teams that, you know, of all the best teams, like a Champions Open or something ahead of the World Cup, which would help the USA players get ready for the World Cup. It would help the players get scouted, and then you have the World Cup to scout the American team for Major League Draft.
Well, that World Cup is set to start February 7th and go into March 8th, so I think it'd be tough to get that in before, unless you go November-ish, October, November,
Yeah,
which you could possibly do. But I like the idea of having that second Super 8 or that combine aspect.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be just your top 6 minor league teams. It can be your top 60 players get invited to the thing. Top 70 players get invited to play on 6 teams. Again up in the air. Again cry of catch. Again on the ground.
Oh, and you see good effort there. You see great effort from Agni Chopra trying to get this young bowler another wicket. Even though the game is far been decided, you see that. That is a great effort. Ooh, my gosh. You could easily hurt yourself that way.
This time will be short of Mukhtar Ahmed stationed in the deep to close over 19. 104 for 8. Joshi to pull the last.
Oh my
Perfectly
gosh.
executed Yorker to get Joshi's second wicket.
What a ball there. My goodness. How do you handle this one? My gosh.
You pray, Nate. That's how you handle it. You got to hope that it misses you. Or the umpire says no. Mishra, he's actually had a nice day. 29 runs and the Lions lose their 9th wicket. Rashesh Behera, the last man standing for the Fort Lauderdale Lions. Now it's that mental hurdle of not wanting to be bowled out. 5 deliveries to face, and he stood right on off stump. What a ball. Rishabh Joshi hasn't gotten too many opportunities, Nate, but in this one chance that he's gotten, maybe is earning himself a permanent place in the 11. That might be tough to do, but a way back into a Canadian 11, that might be a reasonable ask.
You know, I think with Rishi Dhawan's batting, I can see Joshi fitting into this team in the Super 8s if they make it that far. They make it into the Super 8s. I can see them going with 3 pacers.
Mm-hmm. But who do you drop?
Well,
you got to play 2 under 21s.
It's a good question. I'm not sure who you drop. I'm saying the conditions there are more conducive.
Gets through. Unfortunate for Joshi. Doesn't deserve to be hit for a boundary, but 4 against his name. Cruel game, cricket. Just the inside edge. Nate, where does he fit? I don't disagree that it'd be more conducive for him to be in a Dallas venue team if that's where the Super 8 is. But where can he fit in?
It's tough. Yeah.
Are you willing to drop Mukhtar Ahmed? I don't think you can.
I don't think you can drop Mukhtar Ahmed. Not in Texas. I don't think you can at all.
There's no other bat who hasn't really shown value.
It would be insulting for me to pick out a name right now, I think, the way that this team is played. But there are always difficult decisions made in the 11 when you're picking for various reasons, and one of those is going to be conditions and opponent. Mm-hmm. And it reminds me of the World Series back in the early 90s when, I think in 1992, when the Blue Jays made it to the World Series. And back then, the American League, when they played in the National League, the pitcher had to bat, so the DH came out. At the time, Paul Molitor was one of the finalists for MVP that season, one of the top 2 vote getters for MVP that season as the designated hitter. And then one of the other finalists was their first baseman, John Olerud. Well, they could only play one of them.
Cancelled over. That is the game. And Joshi takes off leg stump, and the Lions, they get caged in.
What a ball. My goodness, Joshi's so impressive. I don't care who the batter is. That's going to be a tough one every time.
Domination in its truest form. It'll be an 128-run victory for the Baltimore Royals. And they delivered with the bat, and then with the ball, they might have been equally as good. Look at that batting card. 1 score really to speak of, and that is Arnab Mishra's 29. Other than that, it's low scores and more to follow.
And it was all the bowling today for Baltimore Royals, in this innings at least. Joshi with 3, Mohsin with 3. Sarabjit Lada reached his 100th wicket with his 2. Aryan Batra was very, very good. 2 wickets, 4.25 economy. This was just murder's row.
Well, in the final game for both these teams this weekend, the Royals claim victory. Don't go anywhere. Church Street Park is home to another doubleheader. We have just about 45 minutes until we start up Game 2 between the Marshall Raptors and the Orlando Galaxy for their first meetup of this weekend. Join us then. Thank you for tuning in, and we can't wait to see you again.